Feels like I'm meant to strike. Flat earth beneath my feet, knowing I'm here to meet. Ocean's edge, it calls my name. Purpose in this life's game. Horizons line so clear, God's love brings me near. Flat earth made by him, my journey long yet thin. Purpose found in every day, guided by his gentle sway. Mountains tall, they stand in place.
Yo, Flavs, what's up? It's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Woohoo! We are joined by Roger, Michael, PJ, and Janusz. How are you guys doing?
Good to see you. All good.
Beautiful.
Sorry, someone's just asking me for my email address quickly. You know, like Will Duffy was supposed to do with me.
Well, it wasn't on your website. What?
Yeah, just because it wasn't in my bio anymore. Apparently, it's difficult to understand that Flatzoid is flatzoid@gmail.com. Or to just ask.
That's a stretch.
But yeah, it's good to see everybody in the YouTube lands. Thank you for coming. Please hit the like, share the show. You guys asked for it tonight. King Nico versus Shawn Hawkins.
Ding ding.
I can't stop laughing at Sean's beard.
I didn't.
You like
It
it?
like that.
That was bad, dude. That was bad. Oh yeah.
I didn't even know he debated him. Because like I say, I haven't watched YouTube for a week, so I didn't know there had been any debates apart from the ones that was up with you. I mean, I've been watching it when I've been on YouTube, but whilst off of like lives, I haven't been watching it. So I didn't know him debated anything. And I see the link, I was like, wow, what's he doing debating Shawn? He's going to kill him. Surely you're going to kill him, King Nico.
PJ, you missed a good one. Craig broke down into tears on MDD. It was pretty bad.
Still want to watch it.
Yeah.
I was still live when I went to work this morning, so I couldn't watch it, and I'm definitely going to watch it.
Wow.
Felicia cried.
Looking forward to seeing it. But I see it was a long debate, though. It was almost like it was 5 hours and something.
Good God.
Did
I didn't watch it all.
guys see that one YouTube video? I think it was by Don't Sphere Truth. And he's showing about there was a plane. They took a plane and they were measuring the sun and stuff like that.
Yeah, we
And
saw
flew
that,
it
yeah.
over.
But they went to McMurdo, they said, or something from Australia.
Huh.
But the
I've
thing
seen
that's
it.
interesting is, the way they showed it, I like the way they explained it and showed it.
Yeah, they actually showed the actual what was happening, and they said there was there's like the sun was going up and down like dramatically, and which is impossible. So
Anyway, did you guys watch the Shawn debate?
No.
No.
I haven't
No.
watched either.
No. Sorry.
I don't want to set
We love
myself
Sangre.
to torture.
But I think I chose the right photo for Shawn for the thumbnail.
That
I know.
that beard.
Yeah.
Keep fire away from him because it will ignite.
That's just I just said his face is emaciated so much, his moustache has gone out of control. It's not even a beard.
The thing is with Shawn Hawkins, all he really knows is insult.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
guy is nothing but an insulting baby.
Yeah.
What?
Or he doesn't say anything at all and pretends that his mic's broken afterwards. He'll sit there for 20 minutes silent. Then when he says, I'll go to say something, it's like, mic's broken.
What gets me is why does he want what?
Hey, Matthew, good to see you, man. We're definitely going to be reviewing your debate also, man.
He wants to debate everyone, like all who comes into scene. You know what I mean?
He won't debate me. I've talked to him after he came on my show.
Apparently, he debated me twice. The first
He
time
did?
it wasn't a debate. He shut up, and he just kept quiet the whole time. The second time, we had to go onto his stream in Discord, and then he kicked us off.
You know, I think
I remember that.
I think the demons that are in Shawn want out and he won't let them go. I mean, look at his eyes. They want out and he won't let them go.
He's lonely in there, PJ. He's lonely.
Well, I have to say, King Nico, debating is not for everybody.
No.
it is a certain skill that you also learn sometimes. So yeah, just practice, man. You should get there. Like I said, I haven't watched anything yet, so it's gonna be interesting to see what you guys brought up.
I'm not a debater.
Knowing Shawn, heck, he can debate himself and he'll still lose. So the guy has an IQ of a tuna sandwich.
Oh wow! Even Craig says you beat him, King Nico. Fair play, fair play. Nice, nice.
I've never heard King Nico debate, so I'm looking forward to it.
Mind you, I don't think they hold Shawn in much regard, do they? There's no, he's not venerated much.
Shawn is like the third wheel of the globe.
Yeah,
he's one of those outcasts that literally just get the little troll community that support him.
Yeah, well, the stream I'm doing tomorrow, I've been trying to do it for days, but I've had a couple of days off, but I'm definitely doing it tomorrow. It's up for tomorrow. Is You Are Mocked, Chris from You Are Mocked, and he's got a couple of people with him, and these people know nothing about flat earth or anything. They're not flat earthers themselves, but he shows them these either flat earthers, a clip of flat earthers or flat earth debunkers. So he shows them a little clip, and it's short. The first clip I've seen is Shawn swearing all over the place. First thing he's definitely a flat earther, definitely a flat earther. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing.
Wow. God.
Okay. Well, we got some things to get through. Yeah, this was on the Drunk Debunk show. He hosted this thing, so let's listen and see what had happened.
Did he moderate
ready
it?
to get this debate underway.
Debate.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of what I call it, the Drunk Debunk Show debate, episode 1. This is Shawn Hawkins versus King Nico. Did the TFE really happen? So each of our contestants is going to have 10 minutes for their introduction. After the 10 minutes each, it'll go into open discussion, and then we will have a Q&A. So who would like to go first?
Nico can go.
All right, no problem.
Wow.
All right, Nico, you got the floor for 10 minutes.
I think the demons are telling them.
All right, so today I'm here to expose the fabricated narrative of the final experiment that took place in Antarctica and the so-called 24-hour sun. So this event presented as definitive proof against flat Earth is riddled with inconsistencies, staged elements, and outright.
Why does Shawn always look like he's like, I don't know, almost he's like a robot and he's busy?
That's what I'm saying. His eyes look
like
dead. He looks like in a trance.
He looks like he's busy.
Yeah,
having some short fuse or something. It's like,
yeah, like I'm saying, it looks like the demons want out and he won't let them out. It looks like they want to go back to hell, and he's like, no, you're staying with me.
See, the globe seems triggered by his eyes already. I know. The twitching is like crazy.
I feel sorry for him, mate. I really do, because it's eating him alive.
Mm-hmm. By the way, they bought his subscribers bought him another printer again, and now he doesn't have a power cable for it.
Oh, for goodness sake!
I think let me just put this, because Shawn's probably going to stream this. All the people that support Shawn, don't buy him 3D printers anymore. Buy him food.
Yeah.
Or buy him a way to make food, to get money for food. How's that?
Is that 420 actually on his fridge? Is that on his fridge? Is that a fridge?
So that's a 3D printer behind him.
Oh, it's a 3D printer. It says 420. You should actually say crystal meth and not 420.
Can you print food with a 3D printer? That's my question.
Well, you could print the shape of food, but whether you can eat it or not, I don't think there's much sustenance in it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Some right names in chat for him. Gandalf.
Deceptions. So through careful analysis, we're going to look at the evidence and how it does not hold up under scrutiny, from manipulated footage to ritualistic behavior and pre-planned.
By the way, Nico, I love the dog behind there sticking its head in the curtain, man.
Can probably smell Shawn.
Narratives. The truth reveals itself. So this entire production was a carefully orchestrated attempt to discredit the flat Earth movement.
Look at him.
So Austin and the vape incident, everyone's heard of. So in videos I've posted,
manifesting, demons
we've
manifesting.
exposed Austin baking his breath.
I'm going to read this comment tag because it's hilarious. Mac said, Shawn is the most homeless person in an home.
That's funny. Good God.
I think I know what's happening with his eyes. He has constipation.
I think it's either demons or, like people keep saying, meth and vitamin. Something going on, because that's not natural.
No, that's not normal. LJ, thank you very much for your $2 who says, I can confirm, weed doesn't make you look like that. I agree.
It doesn't. I smoke it every day. It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't make you look like that. It might be because he's like 6,000 years old, but
like I remember from smoking weed, it makes you hungry, doesn't it?
You could say that. It makes you feel good too.
It's got its benefits, but no, he's on something much stronger than weed, man.
I mean, you can't get psychosis off weed. Some people can't handle it very well, and they get psychotic off it. But in general, no. Yeah, only if you've got psychosis you'd act like this. But it's not. It's not a weed thing in general.
I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you. Put my finger on it. What's wrong with Shawn? There's no telling.
I don't know. But Nico, your opening so far, I see nothing wrong with it, man.
No. Perfect.
It was decent. It was.
Arctic cold with a vape. So this simple act undermines the credibility of the footage as it shows a deliberate attempt to manipulate the perception of extreme conditions. So if they're willing to fake something so minor, what else might they be faking?
Exactly.
So no footprints in the snow. So despite being on one of the harshest environments on Earth, the footage shows no discernible footprints in the snow around their setup. So this absence suggests that the scenes were either staged in a controlled environment or digitally altered to remove evidence of human activity. So the left boot Freemason ritual, we've caught Dave performing a left boot ritual, a known Freemasonic gesture. So this raises serious questions about the motivations and
I have to point it out with all the Masonic symbolism as well still. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Saf.
Oh, Saf. Good to see you, bro.
It's funny when we get when I ask Dave McKeegan and what's in them about this Masonic stuff, they all play dumb. Like, oh, I don't know about this. I didn't know this existed. You know, but there's just too much coincidences.
Yep.
I mean, maybe one thing or two, that's it. But I mean, it's one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. There's just too much. And then based on McToon literally doing that 33 with the red and blue, I'm sorry. It's right in your face, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's...
Of course.
Black and white checkboard when they were standing in line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You did bring that up to him, didn't you? Well,
he didn't know anything about it before, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I first got to work this morning, before we went inside the house, it's nice. We're working inside, which is good. Because there's no way I'd be doing this shit outside in this cold, right? And I asked the guy I was working with, I says, hey, let me ask you something. Would you take your shirt off? And the temperature here was what it was when there was down there. That was how it was this morning. I said, would you take your shirt off and stand out there? I'm not asking you to, but would you do it? Would you go out there and stand, take your shirt off long enough for somebody to take a picture of you and some other people? He said, fuck no. He said, I won't even go near the door without a shirt on. Are you kidding me? And you mean to tell me those guys all posed up, got everything, they're standing out there? No. Especially some guy from Florida. No, that's not happening, man.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Wits is not used to cold at all.
No.
I mean, imagine being minus 8 degrees Celsius and you're not even used to cold. There's no ways he's going to take his shirt off. I'm sorry.
No.
I mean, it feels like daggers in your skin. It's so cold.
Yes.
It makes me wonder where the hell they went if they didn't go to Antarctica. Where would they have gone?
Well, they went. I'm sure they went.
Yeah, I think they went.
And they've got some B-roll footage.
Yeah, I gather that, but I mean, where did they do the filming at with them in it? That's where they had to go somewhere.
I still think McToon and McToon and Will Duffy still went earlier. I do think they went a year earlier to go and get the HDR footage, I do think that would explain why they look younger. Because even when I spoke to Dave McKeegan, he couldn't show those photos of them talking with that guy, but he could show them all talking with Mark Herman and the people from that from the running marathon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were specifically with that guy that was supposed to be there anyway. So I do think they probably went down there earlier and got the HDR footage to be able to already composite it in and create the environment Unreal Engine 5. And I'm making a video to explain exactly step by step why I think this and how it's possible. Because yes, even Dave McKeegan's 360 footage he has on his Insta can be faked. And I'm going to explain that too.
Well, I heard that they went down 2 years before. They've been going down, like especially Duffy. He went down 2 years before to Antarctica.
Duffy said he had people there for months before he went. He said that in a video.
So he's already seen, quote unquote, the 24-hour sun. So why did he need to go and do it again?
Mm-hmm.
Odd.
Well, my wife's aunt is right now going through that little strait between the south tip of South America and Antarctica. And she asked him, and now if he was at that same latitude north, you could see a 24-hour sun. And she asked him, did you see a 24-hour sun? She says, no. The days are long, but no, there's no 24-hour sun. And I said,
there you go.
Reciprocation, there should be reciprocation at that latitude that it is in the north. And I think trying to cover for that is one of the reasons they came out with this idea of an oblate spheroid type thing to try to cover for that bullshit. See?
Yep.
Everything is excuses up and down the whole thing.
Dave, did you bring in an apology today? I need it right now.
No, I didn't.
Okay, damn it.
Apology. I don't know. Who?
Brenda. He's looking for it. Yeah.
I didn't do a shit to Brenda. And here's something kind of suspect. Didn't Brenda usually just hates fucking flat earthers, right? She hates them. They're terrible people. They're right. Now she's good buddies with Jeran. Their shit don't stink. Everything's just wonderful about them. That make you suspect in itself.
Well, I just showed everybody a comment that Jeran left on Mark Herman's page that he removed recently.
That was funny. Yeah. Show it though.
Now, anybody can say, he's just being sarcastic. No, there's a reason to this that doesn't mean sarcasm. I think it is blatantly obvious that he is doing this. LJ, thank you very much for this $2. It says, Soft, in what US state would you buy your first home at? Thank you for your super chat. You rock, man.
Where would that be?
I don't know, man. You don't really ever own your home, so I would look for some place that doesn't have a property tax or something like that. Maybe Wyoming, or I don't know where you'd go. What's your weather preferences? Why am I being asked this?
I have no idea.
I don't fucking know, man. Wherever makes you happy. It wouldn't be California, that's for sure.
You have to put your house in the trust. If it's in trust and you are executive of the trust, you can use it without paying taxes because it's not in your citizen name. So it's in trust.
I got you.
Look into it.
But anyway, guys, look. This is on Mark Herman's. That's Jeran approved. Jeran is improved. The set looks better in person.
I know, funny, huh?
It just keeps getting better.
It'll get better as we go. I promise.
Not dodgy at all.
No.
God bless America.
I'm telling you, it's quite crazy. Okay, let's carry on.
Of the individuals involved. Why are we seeing Masonic symbolism in a supposedly scientific endeavor? So we got the copy-pasted mountain The background of their footage includes a mountain identical to a 2016 image with the exact snow patterns on Mount Rosman. So this blatant reuse of imagery indicates that the footage was at least partially fabricated, likely shot in a studio or pre-recorded in a controlled location months before the trip. So there's like different shooting times and dates. So the age discrepancies in the footage. So in some of the clips, the individuals appear visibly older than in others, as mentioned by Flatzoid yesterday when he was talking with Dave. So it's suggesting that portions of the footage were recorded months apart. This undermines the claim that the events were documented in a single continuous Antarctic expedition. Their attempts to demonstrate compass directions, there is clear evidence of tampering. By holding the compass upside down, they ensure the needle doesn't move. So creating the illusion of consistency. This trickery further exposes the lengths they've gone to mislead us, the audience. Jeran and the premature headlines. So before the group even left Antarctica, headlines were already circulating worldwide claiming that Jeran had admitted the Earth is a globe, and that he was wrong.
That's also one thing I have to say. How did that come up before that even happened?
Yeah.
Weird, eh? Like it's already pre-planned.
It was.
What did we say from the beginning? Jeran's going to use this as he's out. Yeah.
Most people said it. Most people that are suspicious of Jeran said that, yeah.
And I can guarantee you, because Whitsitt also says they have the final say in this documentary thing. Whitsitt and them at the end of the day are just going to say, yeah, guys, we both just become globers. We don't appreciate all the flat earthers anymore. You're all just, attacking us, so we're going to do the mockumentary. Watch.
We're all retarded. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He really did that. Yeah. Sean's got a handful here to rebut just off the bat. It's going to be fun. I got to see it.
Well, look at Sean. Really looks uncomfortable.
Yeah. How would he? The thing is, how will he actually rebut that? Because it's an opening statement that's actually brought up a lot of things already. So we'll see how he actually rebuts it.
This pre-planned narrative indicates that the media was ready to discredit Flat Earth regardless of the actual results of the experiment. So why were these stories published before the expedition concluded? The answer is clear. It was a coordinated effort to control the narrative, because what is coming next, they need to destroy the belief system of an enclosed system with a dome so that people could believe in the fake alien invasion. So given the evidence, it's entirely plausible that portions of the footage were filmed in the same location months before the actual trip. So advanced studio technology, such as Disney's The Volume, makes this not only possible, but highly likely. All of these inconsistencies, faked breath, absent footprints.
Yeah, one thing that also bothered me, though, was the whole payment story. You paid for Jeran, then he paid for Whitsitt as well, and then he ended up paying for himself as well to go.
Yeah.
Or what's it? He got a free trip.
Didn't he say before that if he had Whitsitt go, he wouldn't be able to go himself, right? And then that changed. That all went to that guy. Just didn't. Everything he said was just horseshit that came out of his mouth.
And what was weird is with Elizabeth. Remember when they had that golden ticket show?
Yeah.
I was listening to an interesting conversation with Josh Monday. Shout out to Josh Monday, and he was saying how it worked to them. There was no, pull out the hat kind of thing or anything. Duffy just chose who would go.
Yeah. It's like giving out the rose.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Elizabeth came out of nowhere. No one knows about her, everything. She's just apparently been on this podcast that I still can't get hold of. The Clubhouse or whatever they call it.
Do you know what else it is? It's like, when Duffy came out with, oh, by the way, Jeran had a good idea. We'll do these GoPro things and we'll do the cameras all the way there with GoPros, and then we'll charge this for that, this for that. I thought that would have come as standard. I thought somebody would have put a GoPro on anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Income standard. You know, but then they start, and that's before they even went. They said they were going to do that, so charge for it. So I mean, that's all red
Yeah, but
flags.
there's a lot of things that just don't add up.
Of course, of course.
So yeah, it's what else? But like a thingy, Duffy that owes so many people so much money
Oh yeah.
just spends his money, and with Elizabeth Singh as well, which is odd. She didn't have all the money, so somebody just coughed up 20 grand that they still needed.
Yeah, there was a wealthy benefactor. There's always a wealthy
Anonymous
benefactor. This
wealthy
guy
benefactor.
knows so many rich people that just want to give their money away. I've never met any rich people. They're the cheapest fucking people you ever run across.
That's what I want to point out. All the rich people I know are rich because they're stingy.
Yes.
Oh, can I say something right quick? Even I'm a big YouTuber. Why couldn't he just at least put my name on the list and put my GoFundMe on his website? That was
Because he
suspect
wasn't
for me.
planning to take you, man.
That's right. That's bad. That's bad look for them.
Let's say even if I emailed into the golden ticket thing, do you think I would have been chosen?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Look at Sov said. Sov already said that someone was there that had the equipment and all that already, but who got picked? Elizabeth. You know? That had equipment
but
and all
like I
that.
said,
He could have gone where there was
He
trustworthy.
chose who he wanted. He chose specifically Elizabeth. And I like to say, he chose Whitsett. He chose Jeran. This whole thing, no, I need Whitsett to come with because I don't want to be alone. That's bullshit. This thing was planned ages ago. They planned who they wanted to take.
I mean, why? Why would he have to take Jeran? Why would Jeran have to take Whitsett? It's
Let's
not
put it this
just-
way.
They have things to do with each other, but they're not like the best buds and hanging about every 2 minutes, is it?
Let's just put this in a publicity kind of way. They make a documentary. Who's going to have more impact? Jeran, the guy that was on Behind the Curve, and his new Robin or Shadow, Whitsett, or just some normal YouTuber that has 2,000 subscribers or whatever coming on? No, which gives more
Jeran.
punch? The guy that has been the main voice for Flat Earth for the last 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's an interesting little experiment that everyone here in the panel and in the audience can do tonight. If you're out and about, just randomly ask people as you run into them. You know, you might be standing in line at the store or talking to a clerk in a store or what have you, and just say, so, what do you think about that final experiment? And I'll bet you that they hadn't know any shit about it at all. They don't even, nothing, not a thing.
Of course
They're
not.
making this out like it's some kind of a big world-shaking crap, and it's not.
Yeah. See, my brother seen me on someone's channel. It was a video by mistake. He was coming across it and he said, he was talking about this Arctic thing. I said, don't you mean Antarctica? He says, it might have been, I've not got a clue what it was about, but you were just in the corner of the screen and it was about the globe and all that. I says, it must be somebody's video or something like that. So he knew nothing about it. And that's my brother. You know what I mean? Nothing.
And they're trying to make this out. See, they're making this out like this is a big earth-shattering, world-changing thing. And I'm like, oh, well, they go, it debunks your map. And I'm like, well, look, we don't have any accurate maps anyways because they're hiding shit, okay? They're putting global coordinates, and that's all you are allowed to use. Otherwise, your map doesn't get published. So let's get off of that shit. We don't live on a map, okay? And they're like, but it disproves your map. And I'm like, hate to tell you this, but they're still using the AE map as is. They're still using it. So they didn't suddenly go, oh, that's it. Will Duffy went to Antarctica. Fuck it. Throw them all away. Burn them. Get rid of them. They're no good.
I actually saw a video now the other day where a guy he says, what happens if we actually lay over a flat earth onto a globe? Guess what? Lays perfect.
I wonder why.
Well,
Maybe it's a glow
crunch
projection,
shit
dude.
Together at the bottom. You got to kind of crunch shit together and fold it in on the bottom. See, they want you to believe that the meridians come back together again.
They don't.
They don't. They keep spreading out.
Exactly.
The meridians are further apart in the south than they are in the north. This is why their calculated top speed for the sail race is like 4.6 knots or some shit like that.
Yeah, but and by the way, I mean, like I said the other day, one of the panel beaters came into me and started talking to me about flat Earth. He's a flat earther, okay? He doesn't know about the final experiment, but he's a flat earther.
Right.
Weird. Huh. That's strange.
Yeah, odd. There's a lot of people that don't know about this final experiment rubbish. I think they're making it seem bigger than it really is. He's trying to hype it up as much as possible so he can put it on Netflix. That's it.
Yeah.
He's hoping to make money off of this.
I mean, what has he got in subscribers? Duffy, he's got what, 20,000 maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not like he's got millions and he's got a media.
It doesn't really matter, though.
Yeah. It's not like he's then the main media and the news and everything.
The guy's trying to make as much money as possible so he can pay off all his fraud accounts. That's all. That's it.
Anyway, you said before that he owns a lot of money to different people. Why? What happened? I never followed this story.
Embezzlement, man, basically. And fraud, financial fraud.
Right.
Yeah, and guys, before you say we're slandering the guy, no, you can literally go see his records live. It's on public record. You can see it. And it's his best game he has, to make money to pay it off. It's as simple as that. Because it's that or go to jail. Think about it.
Masonic rituals, reused backgrounds, manipulated compasses, and pre-written headlines paint a picture of a staged event. So this was not an honest attempt to seek truth, but a deliberate effort to manufacture evidence and discredit the flat earth movement and Bible cosmology. So in conclusion, the final experiment in Antarctica and its claim of capturing a 24-hour sun are a web of deception. So the flaws and manipulations I've highlighted today demonstrate that this was never about seeking truth. It was about silencing dissent and promoting a predetermined narrative. So I urge you critically to evaluate what you've been shown. Don't accept the narrative at face value. Look deeper, question everything, and seek the truth for yourself. Thank you.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
What do you guys have to say about his open statement?
No, decent. And nothing wrong with that at all. A lot better than I could do, that's for sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's just straight and plain and simple what he said. He's got you straight to the point and no messing about that. He didn't go off on any tangent of anything. He said what he had to say. And what he said is true from what I can see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have been getting a lot of people from the Rising Earth now trying to get us away from talking about TFE, because I think they're part of this whole TFE scam. If you're a Rising Earther, I'm sorry, you're a joke, man. Don't try and take our distraction away from TFE just because you're a joke.
I haven't even thought to think what Dell and all that saying about this thing. I haven't even thought of that, to be honest.
You're going to have to do better than a fucking air bubble and free fall. I'm sorry. That's just not going to cut it.
You know how dumb they are? The guy takes a spring. A spring has memory. It has a force memory, okay?
Yep.
When a thing drops, it has zero net force. So there's no force keeping it to fall because that object with the spring and everything is falling at the same rate. So what will happen? The spring will attract it up.
Yeah.
The gullible people are so dumb, they don't understand this. So they think, oh, you said there's no force. Then how did it move up? Oh, because the spring had memory. It was a force that pulled it up. People are dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what Shawn Hawkins has to rebut this.
So much, Nico. That was 5 minutes on a dot. Do you can see the rest of your time too, Shawn?
Yes.
Where?
Right now. All right, hold on.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So really quick, Sparky said for $2. Oh no, Lord Illuminous Pooh for
Probably
$2.
need a respirator or something. There's something wrong. Looks like he's about to pass out or something.
$2 says I'm institutionalized.
Yeah. Let's get to him.
When he speaks. Get to the questions. You, Mr. Hawkins, go ahead.
I'm going to debunk everything he said using evidence and facts.
Okay. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Evidence and facts.
Wait. Let's get back to the opening statement. Let's go back. Wait. This is his opening statement, guys.
I'm going to debunk everything he said using evidence and facts.
Oh boy.
That's
Okay.
his opening statement.
Yeah.
All
Well, that's a
right,
lie.
there you go.
He's not going to do
Wow.
that.
Brilliant, Sean. That was like,
Golf clap. Golf
So he's
clap,
up-
everybody.
In it. And so his opening statement is lies because he won't
It's
do
like-
that.
His
He
opening statement is dude from the Big Lebowski. Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
he's
can't.
already lost the debate, by the way, if he's just done that.
Man.
That's it.
Well, that was easy. All right, so just letting you guys know, you guys can share
Wow,
your
that was
screen.
really
Please be respectful with it, so I don't have to moderate it. I don't know how to do that, so so go ahead, use it as you will.
Okay.
For discussion.
Okay. Nico, can you post a link to the headlines that said that about Jeran before they went? Could you do that, please?
Yeah. So we'll just go here.
There's a restream like that.
Okay, I just want to say thank you, Flat Out Fudge, for your $5 Switch head. February 28th, there's a planetary alignment visible from Earth. Everyone see any problem here? This what needs to be broadcasted if a TFE. Thank you for the super chat, Flat Out Fudge. You rock, man. Appreciate the dollars. He says
Evidently, the last time this alignment took place was in 1776.
Yeah.
That was the
Wow.
year that Adam Weishaupt came up with the Illuminati, and also
That's
the year
that's
that the
weird.
United States were.
I know. American independence, isn't it?
Yeah, well, supposedly.
Well,
And
supposedly.
now, big deal. Check it out. They're going to have a World's Fair because it's going to be our 250th anniversary next year. 2026 is 250 years, and they're going to have a World's Fair. You can go now. This is what's crazy, right? If you go to IngersollLockwood.com, they have all the shit about the World's Fair, who's going to be there, and they're going to be featuring a lot of Tesla's tech. Nikola Tesla, not Musk. But then they're going to have, this kind of worried me too, they're going to have showing all these different world cuisines and things like that. And I guarantee you they're going to be trying to push you a grub and a banana leaf from some booty-picking tribe in the South American jungle or some shit, you see. I already know that's coming. But this is really interesting. Now, the thing about that, Ingersoll Lockwood, I went, Ingersoll Lockwood? Isn't that the name of the author of the Baron Trump books from the 1800s? So I looked it up, and sure as hell it is.
Yep.
They're going to have Space Force exhibits, and they also have their little logo is the same as like Space Force or the people. You know, that little figure.
Yeah, that's May 1776. Interesting about technology. When Tesla died, and the guy who got there, you know who was that? Donald Trump uncle. He got his hand on the Tesla projects. So
wow. I always remember the bicentennial because it's on Rocky. Rocky was my favorite movie, and it's always on Rocky. It's Rocky. It's on the Rocky movie that was made in '76, and that's how he got his chance, wasn't it? As Apollo gave him the chance because of the bicentennial celebration sort of thing. And I was born in 1976, so 200 years later I came along. That's why I remember it.
Well, I remember 1976 and 1975, and boy, I'll tell you what, everything was bicentennial this and bicentennial that, red, white, and blue, and American flag shirts and everything. McDonald's cups, you know, and they even had the bicentennial moment on television, like between television programs, they'd have this guy come on and tell you a little story about George Washington and Valley Forge and all this other nonsense. It was like, yeah, everybody was into it, man.
Nice.
I want to find out which is the real Anthony in.
Holy crap.
Put my hell on.
Hello, Anthony. Can you hear me?
I don't know the other one.
Oh, the one.
Wait, let's remove one at a time.
Look, I
that's from the first
really checked Illuminati, so-called, but from my research, deep
Oh, that's-
research, I can tell you 100% correct on this. Illuminati is just another name for the old societies who were in power. So it's just bringing
That's me.
names for the new groups, but they are still in core the same. Even inside Illuminati, there are insiders who have more knowledge than other Illuminati. The same in Masons. So they're group inside groups.
Mm-hmm. How's it going, Anthony? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Seems to be
can you hear me?
typing. Yeah.
It's not me typing.
That's me.
Oh.
Hey,
How's it
Flats,
going?
have you seen Harold Shipman? You probably won't know who he is, but have you ever seen what he looks like?
No.
Just go onto Google and type in Harold Shipman, click images, and then just compare it to Shawn. He really looks like him. He's got shorter hair, but Harold Shipman's an infamous murderer. He murdered a load of people.
You're right.
70 people or something.
He's just a bit more chubbier than
Harold Shipman.
Yeah, he looks so much before Shipman lost his colour to his beard. Shawn's got more of a dark beard, but compare him to Shawn.
Oh, yeah,
Shawn Hawkins is just a thinner version.
He is. Shawn Hawkins would be Harold Shipman if he'd ate a bit, you know?
Yeah, obviously Shipman's a GP. He's worth a bit more money than Shawn, so he's got
Well,
a
that
bit
as
of
well,
decent-
yeah.
But remember, Shawn forgot to evolve, so
Shawn's devolved. He's going back to one monkey, isn't he?
Devolution, yeah.
Devolving.
Evolution.
Did you hear his brilliant opening statement for the debate?
Well, actually, I listened to this before the show, and if you compare Shawn and his approach in this debate with Shawn and his approach in outside of this debate, he should apply the techniques that he used against his opponent. What was his name?
King Nico.
Nico. You can see a stark difference because when he's trolling in messages, he begs the question, he makes baseless assertions, he does all sorts of stupid stuff, none of which is all credible. And he flips the burden of proof continually, right? When it's his burden to prove stuff. But in this debate with Nico, he was flipping the burden of proof against Nico because Nico was saying stuff that he probably shouldn't have been saying. He can suggest it as a loose suggestion, and he's just passing ideas around. But Shawn's actually quite right to point out that you've got to prove some of this stuff with evidence, right? You can't just say, "Oh, it could be fake, therefore it was faked." You got to show some supporting evidence. Now we all agree that this stuff is capable of being faked, and they've definitely got the motive to do it. But it doesn't mean that they did. So you've got to give some evidence to back the claim, right? And Shawn was right to point that out. Yet he's guilty of that himself continually with pretty much every claim he ever makes in this topic.
Yeah, we haven't got that far yet, so we don't even.
Yeah, it's
know
coming.
what's
It's
going
coming.
on.
Yeah.
But like you say, yeah, but also you guys must understand, debating's not for everybody. So I think Nico had a very good opening statement. He brought out the issues that he saw, which I think was good. Shawn's one was just simply, "I'm going to debunk you."
Yeah, that's just like your opinion, man.
But yeah, we're going to see what he says. We'll take it as that. But yeah, we'll see.
Share screen. So they go about as far back as 4 weeks. So 4 weeks ago,
Click on that link.
Flat Earther reveals that one thing that made him realize he's wrong while trying to prove the Earth isn't round.
What's the date on that, Nico?
Published 19th of December, 2024.
Right. When did they come back?
Yeah, but hello, he didn't say it was a glow. He didn't denounce Flat Earth yet on the 19th. Shawn Hawkins, do you understand that?
Wow.
So Nico was correct there. Because it's prematurely made.
Yeah.
So that's a bit odd. Yeah, and the other thing
Well,
is
I
normally
believe
when
they left on that.
Sorry?
Normally when there's a an article against flat Earth, it's never prompt and respond to respond to. It's always 2 or 3 days later because it's not exactly the highest priority, is it? But I was impressed by how many of these newspapers printed something immediately. It's like, bloody hell.
Yeah, there's all these no-name weird newspapers everywhere. By the way, I haven't seen one of these in South Africa.
The 18th, so they were still in Punta. They were in Punta Arenas, I think the 19th, so they didn't get home until like the week of Christmas. So they weren't home yet still, and these headlines were going worldwide
after they finished. See, they came back on the 17th. They left a day early, and you're posting something that happened 2 days later and saying it was before. You're a liar.
Wow. Sorry, Sean. I'm going to have to correct you there. He said they prematurely posted things that saying he says it's a globe. Did he say he's not a flat earther on the 19th yet, guys?
Yeah.
Is that never a newspaper that's from?
He said that before the 19th.
Oh, he's been saying it his whole life.
He said it. I don't even think they were there a day when he said it.
No, but he denounced flat Earth after.
I want to know what they did actually on the 18th.
They don't want to say.
No, they don't.
Dave wasn't really keen on telling me. His response was rested.
Yeah, bullshit. Nobody's in another country they've never been to and going to spend 24-hour period cooped up in a fucking hotel room. I'm sorry. That's not happening.
But think about, how long did it take to fly out from Union Glacier to Punta Arenas? What, 5 hours? Do you think you're going to be so tired after that little journey?
Shit.
No, and you're in comfort of a plane as well, aren't you? It's not as if you're in steerage underneath. You've got comfy seats.
So yeah, it's a bit odd because
actually
they were already resting at Union Glacier Camp for a day before they actually left. A day or two before they actually decided to leave back. So they were already rested.
From Jeran's perspective, I think Jeran's like greater than 6 foot in height. And if he is on a 747, which I think they were, then it means that they've not got a lot of leg room at all. So maybe they were squashed.
No, there was enough leg room if you look at the GoPro footage. But you would still sit okay for 5 hours. That's not going to really do anything to you. And the point is, if they were awake so long while they were doing the camera work, that's fine because there was still a day and a half about resting after that at the camp. So they already rested before they went to Punta Arenas again. So I agree with Sol. What did they really do there?
Mm-hmm.
Nico?
No, that doesn't. Hold on. So December 19th, it went worldwide. And
yeah,
pretty much.
You ever heard of the internet? Yeah, news is not delivered by a pony anymore.
Go worldwide. It showed up in a couple of tabloids. Okay, it didn't go worldwide. I didn't open up the Harrisonburg newspaper and it said, "Oh, flat earther discovers Earth is a globe." Nothing about that shit at all. You know what I think's really funny? ALE doesn't even fucking respond to it.
Wow.
Let's see. I put it up. All I get is Hindustan Times.
I could say Sean probably was there when he delivered news by the pony. That's my opinion.
I get nothing else. There's not one newspaper in South Africa that's covered it.
No, they're not going to.
Hindustan Times covered it. Wow.
Nobody in Denver covered it neither. And Duffy lives here.
Well, and I want to know, the 23rd of December, Jeran hasn't renounced Flat Earth yet, correct? He did it after the 25th because he still had his Christmas special. That idiotic poem of his, that cringe one.
I know.
Well, him and Richard came right out before they were even there, I think, even a full day, and said, well, we saw a 24-hour sun. And I was thinking, how in the fuck did you see a 24-hour sun? You haven't even been there 24 hours.
But look at this, guys. What I want to make his point is, the Hindustan Times says, Jeran Campanella renounces the flat earth theories. This was on the 23rd of December. Right. He renounced it afterwards.
Yeah.
Not the 23rd.
Definitely not the 19th neither, right?
You posted in Element when he renounced it, Flats.
Yeah,
Like, probably
after
less,
Christmas.
probably within 7 days.
Yeah. Was after the 23rd, because this was after his whole idiotic
we're in
cream
January.
cone that he claimed to make.
They were in January.
So it's odd. So Shawn already shown wrong.
But it was still within 24 hours of the video.
I don't care.
Posted, him saying that he was wrong. It was already every language, every country, every nation had the story ready to go.
Yeah. They ran the story on the 19th, 2 days after they got back. So
They didn't get back.
You're a liar.
They weren't back yet. That's a lie, Shawn. They were still in
Liar.
Punta Serenas.
Sean's
They
not
were still
smart.
in Chile.
Sean's not smart enough to have understand what were put to him in first place. That's why he thinks it's a lie.
Yeah, he doesn't understand this.
I mean,
They were
those
still in-
eyes, I'm telling you, they're getting worse. They're getting worse. He's definitely, there's something in him. It's spiritual. I'm telling you.
They're trying to get out, PJ. They're trying to get out.
He's trying to get out. He doesn't want them to go. That's what I'm saying. He's like, nah, you stay with me, mates.
Hey, Nico, what's up, man?
Hey, good day, guys.
There he is.
See you.
Good to see you all too. What's up, Sav and PJ and everyone else? Good to see you all, JK.
So I don't know if you just saw. I mean, I pulled up from the Hindustan Times on the 23rd. It showed he renounced flat Earth, but that's false because he only renounced flat Earth closer to the New Year.
Yeah, so he did his first poem speech back on, I think, Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
he was kind of like hinting at things, and then it was afterwards, like you said, closer to New Year's.
Yeah, and the Hindustan Times already said he renounced flat Earth on the 23rd of December. So they were way in advance saying he renounced it.
Correct, yeah.
They
So
probably
Shawn-
already had the headlines like weeks before that already printed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this whole thing was definitely an operation, how the media was connected and even ran any story to do with it, right? It's just, and the amount that was run and how many different languages too. It's like, whoa, they went overkill.
Yeah, but it is based on a lot of I think news reports that I don't even I think they're like bottom of the low fruit though.
No, there were some big ones, and I think in England had the Daily Mirror ran the story, and America had papers.
Yeah, Michael, you said one of the UK ones are big.
It's called the Metro. It's a free newspaper that you get on all public transport. So,
but it's also extremely niche, so that like it's not a national paper in any way.
No.
I suppose arguably you could say it's national, but it's only capturing the transport guys. So like if you're commuting to work, you ain't gonna see it. If you're walking to the shop, you ain't gonna see it.
Yeah, it's free. You get it when you go on the bus, right? It's just lying there. Someone leaves it on their seat. Someone else picks it up and reads it. Yeah, it doesn't really leave the bus unless you take it home. Yeah, not many people get to see it, I suppose.
Hey, PJ, you should grab one next time you're on the bus.
Well, I could do.
I've got the copy of it. Well, my mum's got it. Right. My mum saw it and saved it.
So it was in a rag that they give away on the bus.
On the bus.
Yeah. And on the train.
People probably they probably just go ahead and take it to line their bird cage or, put down for their dog to shit on or something.
It's like only a small section of society get to read that paper. Yeah. So it's almost like, they can put anything in it they want. But it's also by virtue of that fact that they can claim that it's been published for the world at large whilst nobody sees it ever. Because it's such a small percent. I've not seen a Metro paper for a long time because I don't use trains or buses unless I have to.
I'm just wondering.
I wouldn't even know about it.
I'm just wondering if it'll be in the big issue. The homeless.
I was going to say big issue. I wonder if it's in there.
I wonder if
That's
it's
another
big
one
issue.
Well, you need a bank loan to buy a big issue these days.
Well, they're definitely covering their bases and leaving a trail of stories, not so big, but it's there. So if anything, when this invasion does take place and people like the community starts going big, saying no, it's fake, and then people look into it, they're like, no, that's already been disproven. These people, you know what I mean? So
exactly. Stoops, thank you for your $5. He says it's possible the article just exaggerated what Jeran said in the video about being wrong about the 24-hour sun. Just being objective. Thanks. I agree with that.
I suppose it is possible, but that would have to mean that they were all watching it intently to see his reaction because they're all that much glued to it. Yet the reality is we know that you can't get anything published in papers like that, or papers of any kind, without paying a fee for it.
Right.
Or there was somebody on the inside that was genuinely
But the
interested.
thing is,
if
they make the thing is, Jeran is able to actually take legal action against them if they were giving false information. So they would be very careful to make their words by saying he denounced flat Earth or something. You know what I mean? Because he can take legal action then. Because he can say, "I never said that." You know what I mean? So it'd be false information. They could literally be in very big trouble.
Am I right in saying that he hasn't actually joined the ball? I heard him say on one of his live streams somewhere, he said something like, I've stepped out of flat Earth, but that doesn't make me a baller. Something along them lines.
He's a true earther. So he's not a glober, but he's literally saying flat Earth is a cult.
I think it's because he says that because he's mixing in circles where you have to hold each other's willies, right? Because he's been holding Bob's willy for a long time. We've pointed out many, many times. So if you're all holding each other like that, yeah, that is a cult, right? And that's why we didn't agree with Jeran and didn't agree with Austin and didn't agree with Bob, because we were not doing that. Which then they go, oh, well, they're all falling out with each other. So which is it? Is it that it's a cult and that it's an echo chamber? Or is it that we all fall out with each other? Because you can't have it both ways.
I want to see his non-disclosure agreement. That's what I want to see.
I want to know what the final cut's going to be looking like, because apparently they've got final rights on it. Okay, so how are they going to do the final cut then, given that that Jeran swapped sides because of it, apparently?
You see that, Fletch? You can now reply to a super chat. You can say you can like a super chat and reply to it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until now.
It's really cool. Nico, apparently you're an agent, man.
Yeah, these trolls, that's all it is. Like, I need to state again, I'm not in no way the best debater, and I'm not chasing these guys down asking them to debate. Shawn here has been begging me for the last week or so consistently on it, right? So
he does do that.
It's all of them. So I gave up arguing with these trolls back in like 2019 because I spent days arguing with them and it goes nowhere, right? So
it goes nowhere. Shawn's addicted to the drug that is the audience supporting him. So like he'll make a comment and it might be a logical fallacy, it might be totally false, it might be simply believed but false. Like like gravity, that's one of his key angles. He likes to argue Newtonian gravity, right?
Yeah.
And he'll have 80% of the audience supporting him, which fuels his little internal fire that burns and burns and burns. And it's a drug to him. That's why he wants to debate, because he's got the populist consensus in the chat, and he wants that.
Just look at his face on the paused screen there. Like I heard you guys saying it before. He's definitely got demons or something in, and there's no drug that can make someone lurk. That way, right?
You forgot, Anthony. He only has 6 people in his audience, though.
Are you able to get someone to flat Earth or to convince someone to anything?
There's another mark of demonic activity is the fact that he has zero creative ability. All he can do is take something that's already created and try to pervert it in some manner. And this is why the majority of any of his show is Flatzoid's an idiot. And it's the same title, or Sovereign Soul is a retard. And then all he does is he goes on and he plays part of your video and then he stops it and goes, oh, what a fucking idiot. And then he plays it on. And it's like, this is why he only gets like 6 to 8 people watching him at any given time. Because it's like, oh, my balls. How many times are you going to watch a guy get kicked in the balls and still think it's funny? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I say.
That's a mark, you know. Real quick, this is why Hollywood doesn't really create anything new, because it's archonically influenced. There's demons. They only do remakes, and they pervert the remake. They always, oh, well, look how creative. All you did was just change the color of the main character or something. Same thing with music these days. There is no original music coming out. It's only the recycled bullshit by these archons, these demons. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, let's carry on.
All one big cover song.
From my perspective, you can.
You said before. You said those stories were published before they went. You're a liar,
before
Nico.
they went, before they even got back. So
no, you said before they ever went. That's what you said in your intro. You're a liar. Next. What else you got, buddy?
So did you watch Dave McKeegan's response to Flatzoid yesterday?
Oh yeah. I watch all of them, man.
So if you'd like, we can pretty much go through that because that's pretty much got everything in it. That was pretty much well done. I don't think that Dave did a good job debunking anything. So if he couldn't debunk it, I'm not sure how you're going to be able to debunk anything.
Well, you're a biased, delusional person. So of course you would say that he didn't debunk.
What a response!
Biased and delusional coming from Shawn. Wow.
Yeah, but
yes, we are biased. Of course, we're biased, but delusional.
You just debunked you.
we all know Sean's biggest projector out there, don't we?
Oh no! I mean, come on. To call someone a liar, when he calls someone a liar, surely his tongue should fall off.
Yeah, but notice how he calls him a deluded person, right? But when he's in chat and he's skanking in chat, it's always retard or whatever word derogatory slur that he can come up with. But whilst he's in front of the camera, in front of an audience, person is the word he used.
But you see what Paul did now. He didn't directly refute what Nico just said. He went straight on to trying to ad hom him.
Ad hom, straight away.
All right. No, this has nothing to do with being biased. It's just the facts, right? There's no bias here. We go by truth. So, and the fact that is, in the last decade of researching first of all, being a glober most of my life, then realizing that was a lie because trying to prove it I'm waiting for NASA to show actual video footage of the Earth spinning and hurtling through space. You kind of give up and be like, you know what? They're never going to show us.
We have that. They have shown that, Nico. They have shown that.
And that's your bias towards NASA.
No, that's the truth. That's the truth. You're allergic to the truth.
Wait. So that's the truth. Why? Because he says so.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say thank you, for Jax, for gifting a membership. Really appreciate it. And as well as Roger, you also gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Appreciate it all. You guys rock.
You're very welcome. I'm going to step off and just listen, guys. The kids are getting out of control.
And when I'll
see you later.
Okay, nice one, Roger. When I said we're biased, everybody's got a bias, but we don't use it in debates and stuff like that, obviously. Everybody's got a bias. But I didn't mean it in that we use it in a debate. I'm saying, of course, we're biased because everybody's biased. But we just, in these situations, you go by like what Nico said, the truth, the evidence, the proof.
I just want to say I might have a pastor coming to give a testimony on Saturday night.
Nice.
So it's something anybody might be interested to listen to. I think it's really cool to see a lot of Christians coming out with the flat earth and talking against the mainstream, which I think is awesome.
Definitely.
Yep.
So let's go through the video. Go ahead.
Yeah, are you going to share your screen? You have it up, or am I bringing it up?
No, it's your evidence.
Actually, it's your evidence, Shawn, because you made a claim that Dave McKeegan debunked everything I said. So it's not Nico's evidence, our claim. It's your claim. This is what Anthony said earlier. He's reversing the burden on to Nico.
Yeah, but he's actually doing it really effectively, though, because I tend to agree with him on that point. If there's going to be a claim made there, it's on the burden of proof is on the one making the claim, and he is making claims. But I would dilute the claim being made to more of a suggestion or an idea, because we agree that this is potentially capable of being faked, right? And we agree they definitely got a motive to do it. Can we prove it? That's what we're
but you see, Nico was very specific. It was about the chat that myself and Dave McKeegan had, and about the things brought up. And Dave wasn't able to debunk it. Shawn is claiming that he can debunk it, and it is debunked. So it is his burden. It's not Nico's burden.
Look, there is no definitive proof for anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there is
any
evidence pointing to proof, but we can't prove anything. We can't even prove that we are speaking now. We can't prove it. We can't.
This is listen.
Nothing like proof.
This
Evidence,
is why
and
they rely on this, buddy.
people has to accept it or don't. So that's what it is. Some people, for some people, will be enough. For some people, won't be enough. For Globbers, FTEs is enough. For us, it's not enough because we are questioning everything.
Well, here's the thing. This is why they rely so heavily on the reversal fallacy. Okay. The bottom line is this: no one has a firsthand observation of a globe Earth. We get up in the morning, we walk around on a level topographical plane, and as far as we can observe, that is what it is. Now, along comes a clown and says, did you know you're actually on a ball that's spinning around in space and it's floating through a void and all that? Okay, that requires proof because it goes against my observable reality. So I don't have to prove my observation. You have to prove that which goes against my observation.
Exactly.
Go ahead. The burden of proof has been and always will be on the side of the positive claim. And the positive claim is that which goes against the observation.
I agree.
No other thing. Don't get lured into that reversal fallacy. That's bullshit. Because without it, you take that away from them and it's all done.
I tell you what.
The truth is like an us. Everyone has its own.
But yeah, Nico, the thing is, the more you're going to do these debates, the more you'll read the language and you'll be able to counteract it. You say it just comes with experience, though.
Yeah, I'm in no way saying I did great. I can already see, like, I was pretty slow. I wasn't quick enough in some of his lame responses, but I did state, what needed to be said. I think in his chats, him and FTFE have been fighting amongst each other. So the Globies are fighting amongst each other. If that helps.
Yeah, it is true. Stoops the Cat, thank you for the $. He says, never trust a man in a backwards hat. Hey, I like wearing my hat backwards. What's wrong with that? Thank you for the super chat, man.
No hat then.
Wow. Well, if I wore a cap, I wear it backwards as well. I always wear a backwards cap.
And you can see I look like a red tomato today. It was damn hot today.
I tell you a joke. Do you know what it means that the guy is first getting bald from the top of his head? It's too much thinking. And from the forehead, too much sex. And if it's simultaneously, he thinks too much about sex.
That's it. Come on, Shawn.
Friends for like over a year and like going on his channel every week, and the second he goes fantastic, fucking throw him under the bus. Yeah, Dave Weiss hasn't even like spoken.
The audio, Nico, is coming through your mic. Do you want to when you go to share your screen, make sure share audio is also selected.
Flew south with 17. During our time there, we did several live streams, took quite a few photos, lots of photos in fact, and several videos as well. And at no point during our time there did the sun set, despite us seeing the same sun that we saw
there we go. We got
Chile.
it.
So I'm looking forward to hearing what evidence Flatzoid has to say that that's not actually the sun. And that pretty much concludes my presentation.
All right. Thank you very much, Dave. Short and sweet. Flatzoid, you've got 5 minutes to do just a brief review of why you say the sun wasn't real. And then we can just go back into a back and forward. David, you stop screen.
We're able to just fake the sky and have the rest as a real environment.
How would they fake the sky, Nico?
Okay. Is that your entire...
Yeah, I thought he listened to the whole discussion. And I was asking, how would they fake the sky? It's actually very simple. There's many ways you can fake the sky.
Yeah, you made it pretty clear and demonstrated that also.
Just because I've got to make something important. Just because Dave McKeegan says they didn't fake it, and because he has his son on his Insta 360, doesn't mean it wasn't faked. Just to let all the gullible audience know. By the way, you are able to re-import images back onto your Insta 360. So it's very possible that they literally re-uploaded images on. So even if he showed it to us and we watched 25 minutes that he said, it doesn't definitely show that it was not edited imaging. Oh, by the way, what's your guys' take on all the stitchings coming out on all the videos now?
Yeah.
Wow. So Stitchgate. The one with the lines, you can see lines.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've tried to find the actual video where that comes from and see for myself. So I'm not too sure about this one yet, but
show us, Flatzoid, show us.
Flat Earth Warriors did one, didn't he?
Yeah, Flat Earth Warriors did it. Where he actually goes and he shows the.
Yeah,
I want to see. This is where I think me and Nico's the same. We want to actually go get the source and look at it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we can't really just take it. I'm going to put Flat Earth Warriors on quickly.
Yeah, so again, it goes both ways, right? The amount of time that's passed, like I said, it's taken 3 weeks, almost a month now, and they're still slowly but surely releasing videos. It's null and void. And the same goes for our side that's debunking. If they're coming up with new gates 3 weeks later that weren't initially there or spotted from the beginning, and it kind of like it's weird, but it's worth looking into. So yeah, there you have it.
Because because I do see, if I go on Witsit's 360 by this, I see the mountains jiggling like it shows you, but I'm not able to zoom into those lines. So I've got to have to download the full 4K and try and zoom it in on.
What do I see?
I mean, I could certainly see them on his video.
The cool thing about this is you can zoom in on the screen.
So you can see
1 minute in to video.
See where it shows.
Blue line running all the way across the screen. I don't know. I wonder how they're going to, how Dave Weiss is going there. I can zoom in one of two ways. I can zoom in on their camera.
Yeah, you can see there.
Or I can zoom in on my camera. Unfortunately, I got a little reflection there. Try to turn the reflection through.
There's the line.
Yeah, there's certainly a line.
That's the other one.
It's quite interesting.
Seek and you shall find. There it is, running
But
all
knowing
over.
Flat Earth Warriors, I have never really seen anything that I would say I don't trust the guy. So
in general, yeah, he seems okay. Absolutely.
Yeah. But then again, so if it's real, how does that fit into some of the theories that we've come up with? So you see, does it fit a volume studio? Does it fit some kind of other screen technology, or you know what I mean? So if it's a valid,
because that can support a volume LED screen, and it supports even what I was saying with the Unreal environment, that they stitched it together and it has that 3D overlapping because of their HDR imaging. So when they have to create it in Unreal, they're literally laying all the HDR images together to make the 3D environment, which can also give those lines.
So do you think that there's more lines missing that they kind of blurred out?
Yeah, they could have brushed some of them out.
All right.
But I think only time will tell as more people dig. Roger, thank you for your $2 switch. The word gullible is not in the dictionary. Really?
Well, it is, but I think it's a joke.
But yeah, I think that people should keep doing what they're doing and scrutinizing as much as possible. Especially because people are telling us not to do it anymore. That to me is a red flag. Stop doing this. Stop. That's when I push back more and say, okay, I'm going to do it. I don't know about you guys, but that's just how I feel.
What was the phrase? Truth feels no scrutiny.
That's it. That's it.
There seems to be a push against people saying that it's fake, as though like there's flat earthers want the 24 sun to be a thing.
Yeah. That's also what Junk Bunk says. It also shows it supports two lenses being back to back like NZ360. Yeah, but that shows that they cleaned the transition lines. And if you look at Whitsett's transition line, where that flapping mountain is where the transition line. This is not there, and it's in different angles, so it doesn't support that. So yeah, that's just what I'm.
Well, what Flatzoid displayed there, and what his theory again is that, say if you guys somehow magically can debunk the studio set, which I still don't think you can. Everything still points to this kind of virtual volume being set up, but there's other ways to really be somewhere and just fake out the sky, which he showed with an example there of how the sky could easily be just edited out. They're using Unreal Engine 5 now to recreate mountain scenery, anything, any visual, and it pretty much can pass off as real life.
So Flatzoid didn't display anything. He didn't prove anything. He didn't show any evidence. He gave it.
Okay, that I disagree with you, Sean. I explained to you how it's done. I explained how the processing's done. I don't have to literally go and show you how it's processed. You just have to know how it's done. Because even if I show him how it's done, he's probably not going to understand what's going on because the guy's so stupid. But yeah, I actually got something I can show you guys. I'm just going to play a quick clip of it. Mm-hmm. The naivety from these people. Let's see if I can get a piece. Was it this one? Yeah.
What you're seeing isn't real. This is virtual production. Today, if you're not learning about virtual production, then you're getting left behind. Using Unreal Engine 5, anyone can create virtual environments that can be used on set, even you. But most people misunderstand why virtual production is such a powerful tool.
Well, that's all I'm going to put for now. Because I don't want to give everything away. It'll be explained in my video. But yeah, virtual production, very, very widely used, especially by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And who came from and who was part of Disney's there? Jonathan, the guy that we can't get any information about. Has anybody got any information about Jonathan? Because I've been looking everywhere. I would like to talk to the guy. Because all I know is he's Jonathan and he was there and he worked on some Disney films.
Wow.
Yeah,
he was
weird.
there with, Mark Herman was there too.
Yeah, Mark Herman was there. It's really odd. Because now you have also Candace Owens also saying, no, she doesn't believe the Earth's flat anymore. After this TFE.
No doubt.
But what did we all say is going to happen? Yeah, she's just literally playing everyone for that. So
she wasn't in it for long, was she?
People were saying that she is truther and so on. None of those people who are promoted on the mainstream media, mainstream news, even if they look like they're on our side, they are not. It's very simple.
Yeah, the ones that are going to be stepping back or switching sides or whatever, they're going to be all the ones that have been supporting Jeran and Bob Nodell. All those idiots, they're going to be taking a step back, and then then they'll be complaining that they've got no friends anymore, and that's because you've backed the wrong horse, not because the Earth's not a ball or because the Earth's flat. It's just you've been on the wrong side, as we've tried telling you time and time and time again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you bugging me about?
Yeah, let's go.
his opinion.
Well, that is
so
evidence.
prove that they're using Unreal Engine.
That's evidence that technology it does exist. So the fact
I know it exists. I play video games. I know it exists, and no video game is as real as what you saw on.
By the way, Shawn, they don't just use Unreal Engine for video games. They literally use it for movies. The Mandalorian uses Unreal Engine. The LED screens you're talking about, the volume set uses Unreal Engine.
Yep.
So it shows you Shawn doesn't actually know what he's talking about.
I don't think we need to prove that they used it. We just need to prove that it's possible to be done.
Exactly.
If it's possible and they've got the motive to do it, then it's just a matter of time before we work it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
in the TFE? None.
And the fact that no one has ever recorded this before or made a big.
What? You said nobody has recorded a 24-hour sun before? Really?
Yeah.
I got a 5 hour. I got a 5 day.
Has anybody here seen real 24-hour sun footage yet?
Never.
Absolutely not.
But what I have noticed is you can do a search now for Antarctica 24-hour sun.
There's a whole bunch
load of videos now that I've never seen before, and they seem to be 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And I'm like, is it possible that YouTube are like filtering out a load of search results, and as it gradually gets more and more released, they go, right, untick that box. They can now see this part of the internet that didn't exist before. Feels like we're being controlled, like on Truman Show, where they decide what we can do and what we can't do, and that's one of the things that they're now letting us do. See Antarctica.
Yep.
Well, if something has to be faked, then it's not real.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, any of the videos I've seen of it are bullshit. Okay, and there's a problem there. It's just like with NASA. If it's real, there's no need to fake anything. Once you've been caught faking stuff, it's your credibility's gone. You have no credibility left. So anything you produce is going to be, that guy again or whatever.
And the only rebuttal we get, and the only rebuttal we get to this from the Globers is, oh, you just say it's edited. It is real. Trust me.
It's real because it looks very fake.
Yeah.
And here's another interesting thing. Notice that flat earthers don't get angry if you don't believe that the earth is flat. But boy, a Glover gets pissed off like you wouldn't believe if you won't buy into their fantasy. They're calling you names and all kinds of shit. And I'm like, what?
Then you're a child abuser. You're a hater. How can you have children? How can you be married? It's like you should end your life. It's like, what's wrong with you people?
I had a guy on Facebook here just recently, and I tricked him with word magic. He got mad. He couldn't refute what I'd said. And he says, you live at such and such. And he posted my address and a picture of my house and shit. And I was like, that you're not really Columbo or anything. That is all public knowledge. I said, are you coming over? I think you should come over. I said, don't worry. I've never killed anyone that doesn't deserve it. And what it was, and then he assumed that I would kill someone. See,
wow!
I didn't say that. I just said I've never killed anyone that didn't deserve it. I never said I killed anybody at all. So then I went a little further, and I said, "And listen, nobody has ever found a body that I've buried."
See, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, everyone on the panel.
He found out the email of my town chief of police. And emailed him and said, there's this guy that lives at this address and he's a desperate flat earther that will kill people over the flat earth and shit. And I'm like, never said any of that. You started posting my address and shit. You're the one that's triggered, right? And listen, I talked to the chief of police. I was working with the mayor, for crying out loud. And I says, hey, Mike, check this out. And I showed him a screenshot. And he says, oh, my God. He says, I got to get a hold of Beaver right now and find out if he got that email. And we just laughed about it. I said, that's how bent out of shape these people are.
Yeah.
Try to destroy God's creation. And that's all they're trying to do. And they're in agreement, Here's
the thing, though, right? Why do these people even exist? Because, literally, as far as I'm aware, there are literally no flat earth trolls. No one cares where they live. But the fact that there are people on their side that'll do stuff like try and get you sacked from work or get your kids taken off you, why do these people exist?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
speaking of devil, the
Globies are one of the biggest bigoted people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And over what? And over what, really? Because you don't believe their fantastical, imaginative, scientifically impossible model.
Just don't tell them that they believe in a heliocentric religion, because that's literally sun worship religion. Don't tell them that, because they'll get very angry with you.
It's like in the Matrix, you know. They want to stay in Matrix. They fight for it, and they will kill for it to stay there. So they're brainwashed, and they will never admit they were gullible, and they were very easy to convince to the lie, and they don't want to do the work because they want to stay in their dreamland.
Yep. And I mean, look how much times they've tried to pawn bomb me in the last few weeks.
Oh my God, yeah.
Quite crazy.
You know, ridiculous.
Well, I've started putting my streams on the, even to just be able to comment in the chat. You have to have been a subscriber for at least 20 minutes.
Fair play.
You need to hang around for 20 minutes with a sock account so that you can try to say something stupid. By all means, I want to meet that guy. Yeah. I want to meet that guy. I got to give you an A for tenacity, Then I'll quickly ask you, have you examined why you have this?
But that should show you the desperation that they have to literally subscribe for 20 minutes long just to make a troll comment.
Yeah.
Comment. Yeah.
Even if you provide for someone like hundreds of examples, evidence, which literally pointing to the proof, and they just won't believe it, just won't. So what happens is that it's very hard to convince anyone to the truth. So that's why I always love to say, truth can't be told, truth has to be realized.
Just going back to what Sov was saying before about how they've never found a body that he's buried or whatever. When the allegation was that Flatzoid was invited by whoever, and you're like, yeah, only by trolls in chat who are like faceless. We've all had that. I've had that, but that doesn't mean I was invited, because I certainly wasn't. But not that I'm moaning about it. But here's the thing, right? I could not be in a room with someone like McToon, because I wouldn't trust my own self to control myself if I was provoked. Even though provocation is a defense for murder.
I would have come back in cuffs. I guarantee you.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, right? Isn't it odd that if you're honest, you'll probably say the same thing as me. You wouldn't want to spend any time with these guys at all, right? But Jeran and Austin were both cool with it for whatever reason. They were prepared. And I mean, from what I've seen on camera, Jeran and Duffy, them two both seem to be pretty pally. It seems to be odd that the two people that they asked to go are really pally with these guys, yet they really should be wanting to like keep the distance because reasons. There's a lot of shopping list of reasons. I don't know how they could even go to. I couldn't spend any time with these guys at all. Yet these two are all happy to jump on a plane with them for hours. I don't get that.
Well, when Jeran had that show Debatism, I hit him up with an idea. I said, look, I figured out what one of their main tactics is the fact that they interrupt you in the middle of what you're talking about and want to start going down a rabbit hole of some minutia that you said in trying to make your point. I said, all you have to do is set it up so that when one guy's talking, the other guy is muted. Now, if they just can't restrain themselves, they get 2 buzzers. And they can come back and use that buzzer, and they get 15 seconds to say whatever they wanted to do, and then boom, it's back to the other guy until he's done. And that really started working. I said, and I says, another thing, stop entertaining these clowns. Toon and Craig and the rest of these idiots, stop it. We've heard what they have to say. They just give the same crap every time. It gets refuted. Then the next time they're on, they just do the same damn thing again. I said, all they're doing is making money off of this. Let's get someone fresh. I said, so stop entertaining them. And he says, that's probably a good idea. Next thing I look, he turned around, they've taken off the whole fucking parameters that I suggested, because we did it for a little bit. He took off the parameters that I suggested, and then he's got Toon and Craig and them back in there and shit. And I was like, good God, you mean to tell me there aren't any other Globers that would come on your damn show? And I was getting suspect then. I was like, I think you're actually friends with that fucking guy.
Yeah,
I'd agree.
Well,
I'd agree.
I just want to read the super chat quickly. Sorry. Simon Mark for the 10 Australians, really. Hello, lad from Melbourne, Australia. Keep up the good work. XRP booming. Thank you very much for the super chat. You rock. Yeah, XRP is booming a lot now. Wish I didn't have to get rid of my XRP a few years ago. But thank you very much for the super chat. You rock. Sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
I was just agreeing. Like, these guys are not worth the time of day. We know what their positions are. We know their debate tactics. We know that they lie continually. They have logical fallacies continually. They ignore that they're begging the question. They act like it's completely normal. I mean, look at that guy that critical think, right? He did that video that you said was not science, and you're absolutely right. It isn't science. And if we were to do the video that he did, claiming that that was proving that Earth turned, it would be immediately laughed at, ridiculed, and whatever, and it would be because it's begging the question. And
well, I'm debating him tomorrow night, so on that specific thing. So we're going to see if he can present it as science.
all you've got to say is your experiment isn't an experiment at all. It is a logical fallacy and is therefore dismissed, and that's the end of the debate. You don't have to go into any explanations.
There was nothing. I mean, he was incompetent. He couldn't even calibrate it before moving the scale. That's how dumb it was. So it already invalidates it at the get-go. But back to what Sol was saying with Jeran. I realized Jeran was a friend with McToon when he started taking tangents as an angle measurement. Saying, yeah, you can have an angle measurement on a tangent.
Yeah, but I think I got the impression that Jeran was doing that not because he likes McToon, but because he hates Nathan Oakley more. So because obviously that was one of Nathan's arguments. I was going to say one of Nathan's angles, then I won't. If Nathan's saying that you can't have a measured angle from a curved baseline, well, Jeran's just going to immediately disagree with that because it's Nathan, not necessarily because he likes McToon.
Yeah, but McToon taught him that.
McToon taught who that?
Jeran. After he had the chat with McToon, then all of a sudden Jeran was fighting for you can do it. Because you're saying the tangent is a straight line.
Well, the tangent is a straight line, but it's got to touch the surface, which it never does when you've got a sextant.
It's theoretical. It's a point. You can draw a line between the 2 points and get a tangent, but it's not a physical, actual line. It's just a projection that you make.
It's just a line that meets at a point on a curved surface, but you literally have to have your radius there before you can make that claim that there is a tangent.
Of course, yeah, because without the radius, it is just a straight line. The minute you say tangent, then it implies that a ball. You're begging the question by saying it.
Exactly. And Jeran didn't understand this at all.
But Jeran's never been good with logical fallacy. That's why he fell out with Nathan.
Yeah. Okay, I think we should go on. Let's see what
24 hours sun here.
Right, and the fact that the sun, the hue of the sky remained the same for the whole 24 hours, but that's impossible. You'd never see.
No, it's not.
You'd never see.
No,
that.
it's not.
It is.
Are you a photographer? How long have you been a photographer for?
I don't think
I've been a professional photographer for 45 years.
He said something about the white balance, the setting kept it that way, but that's not making sense. That you can't get.
Why? Why? Prove that you cannot set your white balance to a certain hue and have the sky remain that hue. Prove it.
Exposure changes it. If you have your histogram on your camera, it sets to the exposure. If the sun is moving across the sky, the exposure will change because it arouses the same light of light in, and therefore it will change the amount of light coming in from the darker part of the hue of the sky, and therefore the hue changes. This is why we see on other footage it changes. And even Dave McKeegan says he doesn't know why it didn't change. Why? Because he knows it can change.
Yeah.
Did I just hear correctly? Did he just say that he's been a professional photographer for 45 years?
Have you seen how rubbish his photos are?
He said that.
I've seen some of his photos.
Remember, he gave you an example.
I saw some of his photos. The one photo he showed me was overexposed. The other one was grainy, and the other one, the depth of field wasn't even correct. he did photography in the army. Any monkey can literally take a camera in the army and take a photo for evidence. That doesn't make you a professional photographer.
Just because you got a freaking camera, an expensive camera, doesn't make you a photographer, you know, any more than owning a stunt bike makes me a stunt bike rider. You know, look, you watch me on that thing, I'll die. That's all.
This reminds me of Greater Sapien when he said
Yeah,
that
man.
he paid that.
You buy a brand new bike, you automatically become Evil Knievel.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Greater Sapien when he said that he paid them 20 grand and then he showed like a handwritten receipt kind of thing. And people said, that's not good enough. It's not proving that the money left your account. Show the money leaving your account. That should be possible, right? You should be quite comfortable doing that. He wouldn't do it. So it's like, it'd be like, come on then, Shawn, show us an invoice. And then he'll scrub one up on Excel and then print one off and say, look, there's an invoice to ABC Co, right? 300 quid. It's like, okay, now show the transaction in your bank account. No, I'm not showing you my bank account. Yeah, there you go then.
Going back to your speech about the stunt bike. So the same, like everyone has a brain, but not everyone is using that. So.
Mm-hmm.
No, especially filming the sun. That
what is your evidence for that?
Light source, because this.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear your opinion, Nico. I want to see evidence.
And the fact that it wasn't a live stream, pretty much throws it out right there anyway.
Yep.
It was a live stream.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a live stream. The 24-hour footage wasn't a live stream. What's he talking about?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Wow.
That dude is like some kind of a laboratory monkey that they jolted or something, you know, and maybe he just has the ability to speak. I mean, for real, that guy, I think, swear to God, I think that if you put him in a room with a tire, he'd play with it.
I just want to say
it will break it.
I just want to say to Vicnoid. Vicnoid's been saying Vicnoid's been banned. I haven't seen Vicnoid in my banned list. I've looked 5 times. I even looked tonight again 2 times. Vicnoid, you're not in my banned list. So you're either lying or you're trolling.
Well, that's what I'm saying to him, because he's saying, oh, I can't believe it, they just canned me. And I says, well, hold on, earlier you told me you couldn't comment anyway. So how can they have just canned you if you couldn't comment anyway?
I've looked 5 or 6 times in my banned list. Vicnoid's not in there.
He keeps going on about Nico on the other channel. That's why I'm in there now. He's saying, oh, I can't believe you canning people are saying this about Nico. Because they're talking crap. I mean, there's no proof for Nico being a bloody fraud. Yeah. So there's no. If you say something like that, if you say something shitty, I'm going to ban you or I'm going to time you out. Yeah. Simple.
Yep.
But like I'm saying, Vicnoid even emailed me and said, okay, sorry for the whatever. I'll check. I still there's nothing there. Vicnoid is not banned. There is no
Vicnoid, well, that Victoria who were in chat earlier, and yeah, you were talking crap, Vicnoid. So.
You were talking, yeah. So you should be banned then. Simple.
Okay, let's carry
on. Much of it was a lie.
That's for now, yeah.
Okay, right. We're going to go into a back and forth then. Just before we do, I want to say thank you everyone for joining. Please make sure you smash the like button and share the stream. I will be on.
Could I just recommend you start crowdfunding for your bail now?
Yeah, so we've already told me that the person bailed for me. So yeah.
If I could share my
screen. I have promised my wife I won't get arrested.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. If you got something ready, go ahead. So
yeah.
But basically, what I'm saying that Dave hasn't debunked anything. His reasoning for his excuse for the left boot and charging of batteries. It's nothing adds up. That's a good cover story for actually. It doesn't like say that like basically everything that was in motion was 100% a Freemasonic ritual. He can't deny that. He's just saying, oh, it might have looked that way, but the cover story is I was only putting batteries in shoes and moving it around, and that's it. But it doesn't take away that it still was a Masonic left boot ritual for the apprentice. And
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Why? Because you say so. I think it's very specific, this left boot thing, because what what made it not a coincidence for me is McToon also used his left boot.
Well, and here's the thing about it too. These guys supposedly know science, and they think that a boot is going to keep a battery warm in cold weather. No, the boot does not produce warmth on its own. It traps in your own body heat, and that's what provides the warmth. You provide the heat. It insulates. It's a closed system, if you will, and it traps the heat inside the boot. If the boot's just sitting out there, it's not warm inside there. It's cold inside the boot.
Yeah,
And if you don't believe me, anybody that lives up here in the north, go ahead and set your shoes out overnight and put them on in the morning. They'll be nice and toasty for you.
Yeah, why not just put the batteries in your pocket or something?
Yes.
I've never heard of anything like putting it in a boot and putting that boot outside in the cold Antarctic sun.
Right.
Never. That's a ridiculous story if I ever heard.
Put them in your inside pocket right here.
Yeah,
right here.
With some of those warmer things that we have here in Canada every winter. You put them in the glove warmers.
Junk Show said they put hand warmers in the boot.
Oh, now they've got hand warmers in the boots. Get the fuck out of here.
Put it in your pocket.
But yeah, like I said, which makes it weird for me is why would specifically left boot, fine, coincidence, but why would McToon also be using specifically the left boot? And the way McKeegan went to go fetch the boot out of the container and stick it there by the table was also very sus, because even, he positioned it even in a weird way that was like very intentional. You know what I mean? So it's odd. I don't just trust everything anybody just says. It's just looked very odd.
And what kind of a hand warmer did they have? The hand warmer I've got requires a fluid that you have to put in it. It's like a lighter fluid, and there's a little thing that glows inside. You put this cover on it. It goes inside a bag. You stick it inside your coat or hold it in your hands, however you want to do it. So you were allowed to take some kind of a fuel with you down there too?
No, there's
I just want to say, guys, I don't think Vicnoid is a troll. I think there's some kind of weird miscommunication somewhere. But I'm just saying, Victoria, yeah, I don't see you blocked, so I don't understand.
No flats. Victoria were in chatting shit.
Talking crap about Nico.
Talking about Nico, and that's why it was removed. It's coming back with different soccer accounts, moaning about Nico and never bringing no evidence.
So they have these hand warmers over here where it's like these mixtures of and you just shake it about and then it just generates heat. So there's like no fuel needed.
You can make those. You know that stuff that you sprinkle on your driveway that melts the ice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you take some of that and put it into a plastic bag and then just add a little bit of water to it and seal up the bag, and the thing will start warming up. You can put it in your coat and everything. As long as you don't break the little Ziploc seal, you're good to go, man.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you, Simeon, for your 10 Australians. He says, Duffy says it's okay to lie. What fools Dopey FTFE and Dopey Toon are complete muffets. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. You rock, man. But yeah, I don't trust anything TFE because, first of all, let's, for instance, take McToon. He claims to be a Christian, okay? And he takes part in a whole expedition that comes from a guy claiming it's not immoral to be deceptive. As a Christian, I don't take part in deceptive practices, so I would, as a Christian, have to say, sorry, I'm not interested in taking part in it. What does that tell you about McToon? Although we know McToon is the most dishonest twat I've ever seen on the internet anyway. But what does that tell you?
The very fact that Duffy says that, if it was Jeran that said that and they wanted that, they always quote him as saying, interesting. That would be the name of the mockumentary by Jeran if it was. Say it was Jeran that said it, because it would be called It's Okay to Lie and Deceive by Jeran Campanella. But when it's them, they ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the next one will be it's okay to be wrong as well. That seems to be.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that's going to be the mantra for the next 6 months from them.
It's okay to be wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see my screen? Why is it not sharing?
Let's make it bigger quickly.
Can you see my screen?
I think I can see it.
See the one I'm sharing?
Yeah, that's yours. Yeah.
The 24-hour sun here?
Yep.
This is a 5-day, 24-hour sun there, buddy. 5-day time lapse.
That's fake, buddy.
Sun never goes lower. Look, all of this, the sky gets different shades. Huh.
Yeah, the sky's changing shades. Why didn't we see that with Duffy with McKeegan?
And it's about 2 minutes 22 seconds, so it's pretty quick.
This is a good fake too. But the sun.
No, it's not. It's not fake at all.
Of course it is.
This
So,
was,
so since when did the Earth
came out 6 years ago, man? 6 years ago.
So
So in
I want to point out something. Just because it came out 6 years ago, so therefore not fake.
A lot of these videos come out 6
Wait a minute.
and they've all been proved fake.
You mean there's all these videos now of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica? Why did they go?
Why did they go? Yeah.
Why? You already have video of it, right? So what was this all about, really?
Yeah.
I asked
They already
Duffy
got the video.
I asked Duffy that. He said there were tons of videos, and I said, then why are you going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he can't make money off of something if it didn't go. That's why.
Right.
That's right.
It's money making. It's as simple as that. And do you think he would have got anywhere if they had to prove that there wasn't a 24-hour sun there?
I was going to say, imagine what their position would be if, say, for instance, Flat Earth Banjo Japan guy and Flatzoid and, just for argument's sake, Nathan Oakley, right? Those three guys jump on a plane, go down to Antarctica to repeat that observation. And when they get there, it don't do what they say. So they're completely opposing views, right? Completely opposing pieces of evidence. Do you think the Blairfs will accept that the Flat Earthers' evidence was credible? No.
I just want to say, Drunk Debunk, Unreal Engine 5 wasn't out 6 years ago. Obviously, you could use After Effects to give these effects as well. Remember, this is literally just a video taken, a time-lapse video. They used Unreal Engine because it was in real time with them moving in the environment. That's why they needed Unreal to do it.
Years, the Earth's tilt shifted, so there the sun is moving
No.
parallel
Did you
to
see,
the
for example,
horizon.
Terminator
and
2?
in
This is at the South Pole.
Sorry, Anish?
I'm just saying, if people are saying, "No, it's impossible, you can't do that," so I ask if they seen Terminator 2 or Avatar, for example.
I've just thought what would happen if Nathan and Flatzoid did go down there. There'd be zero internet, right? And they come back and say, sorry, guys, we couldn't do anything because there was no internet whatsoever. And they weren't going to accept that, were they? Because they had fake internet all that time, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, imagine you just go there. It's like, no, guys, everything they did there was fake. Well, it would backfire.
Yeah,
That's
they'll say,
just
where's
they-
the live stream? And then we'll say, well, there was no live stream because there was no internet. That were a complete lie. There was no internet. And they'll be like, no, of course there was. We believe the alternative.
But that's one thing that was very dodgy for me about this excuse why they couldn't do another 24-hour stream, try to restart it. That to me is very dodgy. Why does he need approval to restart another live stream?
Why does who need approval from what? From who?
Mark Herman, apparently, he was trying to do the 24-hour live stream of the sun. And after 12 hours, well, just before 12 hours or whatever they said, it crashed. And they couldn't, he needed approval again to restart it.
Probably approval from his master.
So that doesn't make sense. Why do you need approval to restart a stream? But that's not the weird thing. The weird thing was they removed it. Why didn't they just leave it up? Why didn't they just leave the failed live stream up? Then we could have watched those first 12 hours. Instead,
or maybe it was never recorded in the first place.
Because which really sounds odd to me is when I spoke to Dave McKeegan, I think I'm going to actually get that quickly. I want you guys to listen to what he actually says. Because this caught my attention. I think it's 1 hour. So quickly get the concept.
Ooh.
22, I think. Around 20. I think it's around here. That he did what dishonest people did and just carried. They retry after the failed 24-hour stream. Why didn't they retry do it? Do you know why?
So the stream packed in the early hours of the morning. And I think it had been, I don't know if there was multiple issues, it had been bouncing back and forth. And then Mark Herman didn't have the facility authority or whatever to restart a stream. It had to come from somebody else back in the UK. But I think by that point, it was the early hours on Sunday morning. So he couldn't, they just, for whatever reason, couldn't get it up until way later. And I think by that point, they kind of figured there's no point, given the fact that flat earthers will just say there was several hours of gap between and the sun probably set there, because they often bring up, before we went, there's no live streams of the 24-hour sun going all the way around. There's always a cut. So I think by that point, it was just a case of it's wasted. And they were using Will's phone. I don't think he was too pleased about having to give up his phone to do the live stream in the first place, which came about because Mark Herman had took a 360 to do a live stream, not realizing you need a cell connection to live stream with a 360.
Okay.
So wait a minute,
couldn't get a cell connection.
You had how many months?
Yeah.
How many months to prepare for this crap? And it's like, oh, well, we got there and we had the wrong cord and shit. You didn't even try like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to test it out. None of that. You had 6 months or more to prepare for this shit. And that's the best you could do. Oh, well, this guy forgot his cord and there wasn't a charge. And, hell, it wouldn't connect up. What do you know? And all this other.
If it was so important,
the
the explanation that it was early hours, so he's imposing that it's too early, they will wake up or so, whatever. But if it was so important, I wouldn't mind.
I just want to know. Mark Herman couldn't use his cell phone because there were no cell phone reception, but he used Duffy's cell phone.
God, come on.
Makes sense? So I can't use my cell phone because there's no cell reception, but I'm going to use Duffy's cell phone. What makes Duffy's cell phone better than Mark Herman's cell phone? But that's not what I want to show you.
And also, they would have had to have been using internet phone. Okay, they would have had to have been using internet phone because of their little Starlink or whatever. Outside of that, when you're at Union Glacier Camp, they have telephone booths that you can use, or you can buy airtime for their sat phones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to see. I think it's coming up now. What he's going to say. You're going to listen to what he says about the sun, about the mountain.
In there because there's no towers, so Will ended up having to use his phone for it. So I think by the time it then packed in, they just went, it's not going to achieve anything anyway, and I'd like my phone back.
I think it's going to be now.
Yeah, Will kind of needed it. Pretty much everyone in the world was trying to get hold of him.
Yeah, including Steve.
Yeah. So, and also a big reason for what I've been told, Flatzoid, is the fact that Will's phone did a 4-star. Started again. It sucks.
Although the stream did actually record the sun going behind Mount.
Listen what he says.
It sucks.
Although the stream did actually record the sun going behind Mount.
Be going behind Mount Rosman. Behind, you heard that again?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Although the stream did actually record the sun going behind Mount. Kind of old.
I found that very odd. Behind Mount Rosman.
Yeah, it's meant to be over it, right? According to the current height on the sun at that time.
But you see, he kind of misspoke there.
Yeah, then he stopped himself.
Yeah. Freudian slip.
And you guys want to know why I just let them talk?
What is that noise?
Someone's phone. But yeah, why would he say behind Mount Rosman when they claimed it never went behind Mount Rosman? That's my question.
It's because they're liars.
Little things like this that just make me go, No, he corrected himself afterwards, drunk. But my point is, why did he say behind?
It's probably because he was remembering the previous lie.
So yeah, it's a bit odd.
The sun is dancing. No,
This is at the South Pole.
Again, you guys are just showing.
600 miles north of or south of where they were.
Again,
What does
this
he mean when the
isn't
sun is
valid
dancing?
footage. It's another fake.
Oh yes, it is. Oh yeah, it is.
So if how
It's
can
absolutely
they both
valid.
can't
It's
be
absolutely valid. Yes, they can, Nico. If you knew anything about the way the sun's orbit or the Earth's spin, see, they're dead center on the South Pole, on the South Axial Pole.
I was going to say thank you, Simon, for another 10 Australians. He says FTFE and Toon have room temperature IQs.
Yeah, room temperature in Antarctica, right?
Yeah, that's
Minus
say
15.
that's a pretty liberal estimate right there. Room temperature for who?
Yeah, because if they had room temperature in the desert, that's like in the Gobi. That's not too bad for them to.
I'll just come out and say it. I think both of them put together about as dumb as a bag of hammers.
I think Shawn Hawkins, in fact, the Flat Earth are actually as stupid as each other.
Oh, Shawn Hawkins is a mess. I couldn't believe, Nico. I could not believe that you actually went on his show. I thought his foul mouth is going to drive Nico away within 10 minutes. I saw it start, and I was like, I don't want to even listen to Shawn. And then I went back to check and see, did you leave yet? And I was like, oh, my God, he's putting up with it. Hard, man. Holy crap. He won't debate me. He won't debate me. He chickened out right in the chat of one right before it started.
Well, I got so much flack for supposedly rage quitting on FTFE's debate, so I told myself I can't be doing that, right? So.
Roger Little, thank you for your $2 super chat. The dog ate my homework. Nice load of BS. Thank you for the super chat, Roger. You rock.
Yeah. Did sound that's what their excuses are starting to sound like. Man, I used to hear that all the time. I'd send a couple of troops down to the motor pool to do whatever, and I'd come down there after a couple hours and nothing done. And I'm like, why is none of this done? It was like all these same kind of excuses. Oh, we couldn't find this, and then the broomstick broke, and then ELM was all out of part. You know, oh my God, just stop. You're on guard duty. That's all. Go, just go. I couldn't deal with it.
I just want to say, when Duffy said that ALE built the that special camp for them for TFE, that's bullshit, because they put that special camp up there for the marathon runners, not for Duffy and them. They put it up every year for them.
Did we see a video where they were taking that stuff down?
Yeah, we saw it from McToon on his last day. Ryan S says, I support the truth. Thank you for being a member for 6 months, Ryan.
Wait, have you guys seen that video before that Shawn brought up? So this old video of the 24-hour sun, you can see the sun is just moving parallel to the horizon, right? And TFEs, you can see the sun doing this up-down motion for 24 hours. So, and then his excuse is, because it's 600 miles away from Union Glacier where they were, and this is direct south on the bottom of the South Pole.
Mr. Chiswick says, why don't we all pretend to go back to the ball for a week just for a laugh, see what they do, it'll freak them out. They'd probably go to the flat earth so they could still have the debate.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, Shawn is making a claim that this is a real footage of the sun for 5 days, okay? So he hasn't proven that this is real other than just saying, trust me, it's real.
And then he's making another claim saying that 600 miles difference on the same continent is going to give a different view of the 24-hour sun.
Yep.
To be fair to Shawn, all he's got to do is provide evidence to support his claim. He's then putting the burden on somebody else that says that's not true or not real. He's then going to say, right, well, prove that it's not real. In other words, It's like when you give an alibi to the police, right? I didn't kill the guy. And they go, okay, then. So on the face value, they'll take that and they'll say, right, let's go and check his alibi. And then he gives an alibi, and then it turns out that it seems to support his assertion. It's then on the police to prove that alibi was false. That's not easy for the police to do, is it? So I think Sean's right there. He has produced evidence that supports his claim. It's on us now to work it out and say, right, where is this wrong? Which, of course, everyone's looking at.
Yeah, but the thing is, it still hasn't been shown that that's true, though. So it falls under both to have the burden. So it is under Nico to say, okay, show how this is fake, but it's also under Shawn to prove it's real. You understand?
No,
Shawn presented it as it's real, it's not fake.
Yeah, it's not on Shawn to prove the authenticity of it. He's given the evidence that shows that the fact is proven, right? It's on the one that's doubting it.
I disagree with that, though. I disagree with that, though, because if they show us pictures from space of the Earth, okay, they claim that's real. It's the same as this. They claim it's real.
It also show that it's green screen, right? We can do that all day.
Yeah, I mean, how do you know that's real? Just because he says it's real, it doesn't make it real.
Yeah, but we can show that there's green screen and wires and all that, and most people acknowledge and realize that NASA are just blatantly lying. It's not the same with this, is it? It's different because they don't seem like they're using.
It's the same because there hasn't been unedited footage. Even by default, this is edited footage because it's 5 days time lapse of 2 minutes. So there's a lot of time, a lot of stills that are missing in that video. So
people have been through this, though.
Yeah,
there's lots of issues with it.
Yeah, you seen what Danny Dessau said about Whitsitt's 24-hour footage was given to him by Will. Both Will's and Whitsitt's are identical, except Whitsitt's is poorly edited. I don't know how true that is because I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how true that is.
So say thank you so much.
Interesting.
If TFE forward is like a drive in a movie theater. Wow.
How can it be poorly edited? I thought it would just split into sections because it were too much trouble.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it, Tim. Yeah, the thing is, they still have to edit it in processing to make it that way. Because if you look at it, it still shows the cameras and stuff. So you have to like literally feather them out to make it look all seamless.
Right, of course.
So you still have to edit it.
That throws up to me the question of why did they take 360s? Well, that why? Because they can tamper with it and just claim it had to be done because it was a 360 camera.
I believe you, Danny. I just haven't seen it. I believe you, dude.
Seen what?
I haven't looked at both of the footages together. So
How's this? A guy emails me. I want him to present something about the drone Infogate. I say, fine, come present. Will you please present it for me? Okay. Will you pay for the evidence? No.
What?
What is
Probably
this?
Glober.
Walk away from here. God.
What?
Probably just a Glober. Okay.
God.
People are.
FTFE was 600 miles north of there. So because of the Earth's tilt, it's going to look like it goes up and down, Nico.
No, that doesn't work. Not if the sun
Yes,
is
it does.
3 million. No, it's still, if they're 600 miles away from the direct south, then it's not going to change anything. It's still.
Yes, it will. Absolutely will. Why do you think the sun goes up and down when you're like north of the equator?
So
Well,
you're
north
saying
of there.
that this is possible
because
if you're
the
standing-
sun is on a tilt.
But this is only.
Remember the sun forgot to wobble here, guys. The Earth forgot to wobble on its actual tilt here. So, yeah.
Yes, this is perfectly predictable by the heliocentric model and not predictable by the flat Earth model.
So not any flat Earth model, because now there's like 5 different flat Earth models,
None.
right?
None.
So this,
No-
you're
no
solely
model of the
saying
flat
that
Earth.
this is only able to be possible on the heliocentric globe.
Yes, absolutely.
Ridiculous.
No, it's
I agree.
reality,
I
man.
agree. Ridiculous.
Shawn.
It's reality. And I know reality hurts your feelings because it destroys your paradigm and your flat earth cult.
Again, going into the attacking.
Yeah, he can't help himself. He can't help himself. He's just such a wiener.
Yeah.
I think you conducted yourself well so far, Nico.
Yeah.
You
I could
answering
that
him.
from Sean.
Yeah, I think you're doing well.
I'm placid. I'm placid. And there's no way I could be chill like that in front of Sean.
So what else you got?
Well, no, cult is actually part of the word culture. And
no, it's not.
Globe Earth has been part of the curriculum.
That actually is.
Yeah, but a pound of gold is heavier than a pound of feathers. No.
Oh wow.
And culture for the last 7 decades, right? So basically the last century. And the fact that people have just blindly believed and followed this cult of the globe and NASA is now coming to an end. And you're the one that's getting upset because I'm here to crush it and finish it off.
Dude, you couldn't crush a can with a steamroller. Cult, the etymology of cult.
Oh,
Colaire is
one thing I've realized with Shawn Hawkins. He always acts like he knows what the answer is, and then he has to Google it. Every time.
And he's in no position, is he, to be telling people who can crush what?
No, I know.
The thing Shawn Hawkins has said is he should be very embarrassed.
Latin cult, inhabited, cultivated, worshipped. French is culte. Latin is cultus, means worship. And that turned into cult in the early 17th century. So it does not mean cult. It does not mean whatever you said it means.
Cult is part of culture, he said.
Yes, and they, of course, they won't provide lingua, which is in the Black's Dictionary. They won't show it. They won't.
Yeah,
That's why I said before Latin has been replaced by English, because English double speak. That's why they can use spelling, spells, channeling, programming, and so on.
But you see, Janusz, what he did is he took the etymology and not understanding that cult is still part of culture.
Yes.
That's what Nico was trying to explain to him, but again, he's too slow
I agree.
to understand what's actually being said.
See, and this is what I'm talking about. They want to get off and argue about shit that don't have anything to do with what you're talking about. Now we're on the etymology of a word and some other kind of shit. Any kind of I gotcha, what he thinks. This guy is like the most low intellect simian on the entire. The rest of the globetards don't even like him. That's what's so funny. The rest of the globetards think he's an embarrassment.
I find it interesting that he'll focus on the meaning of the word, the etymology of that word, whilst completely ignoring that the definition of one of the keywords that he likes to use, i.e. gravity, does not mean what he thinks it means.
Someone corrected him and put it in his comments under his live. Says, yes, cult and culture both come from the Latin word cultus, which means care, labor, cultivation, culture, worship, and reverence.
There you go.
And then he was like, are they? Thanks for the information. See?
Just dismisses it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
When it doesn't catch in the middle.
I literally can picking bugs off somebody's head and eating them. I literally can, like one of those monkeys. I'm sorry. That's just
right. Cult fits into the word culture.
Right. Words that look alike don't mean the same thing, Nico.
Roots and
Means cultivated worship.
A lot of in common. Very important.
That's what cult means, not cult.
To be honest, I think both people are right.
So you're on point. You're right.
Both words are both equal meaning in the sense that depending on the context, you can use either.
Yep. But that's the thing. Shawn Hawkins is only reading half of it. He's leaving out the other half. Which he likes to do as well. He loves
That's
to cherry
Sean
pick.
there. The second one from the end is Sean. Second one from the end.
Homo erectus.
Yeah, second one from the end. That's Sean. It's so much of a likeness. I'm telling you. Sorry, Shawn. You are beautiful, bro. You're beautiful.
Hey guys, that footage from the was that from the South Pole exactly? The one that goes up and down? I didn't get to see it.
No, it didn't go up and down. Just left to right.
It's left, right. Okay, that's wrong then. It's way off from what they need in their model. They need the Earth to spin and the sun to go up and down in the process.
Yeah, can't you remember that model Duffy presented you, Fats, when you were debating him, where it was showing the sun going up and down?
Yeah. Yeah, showing, they modeled it out, and this is how it would happen. I was like, okay.
And your boy Rory over there said the same thing too, right?
What did Rory say?
Yeah, Rory said the sun would have to actually move in the sky and go up and down and north to south.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what else you got?
A lot more than you, Shawn.
Want to talk about footprints they were leaving in the snow? Want to talk about that? How about the angles of the shadows?
I have to say, Nico, I love how you're just sitting there looking at him like thinking, what's wrong with this guy?
I know, it's chill.
He's just like,
Yeah.
this guy's insane.
Because I can see him
How about,
and feel him
the
like
humidity?
and his eyes glowing and glaring at the camera. Like he's just, I was like, whoa.
Weird. Something. He just looks like a screaming. He reminds me of that painting. No, the one that looks like the screaming face. Scream, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Screaming skull.
That's a good comparison, to be honest.
See, guys, I told you it was a Glober. Well, anyway, the email says, from unsure name, hi. Said, hi, how are you doing? And gave him the restream link. Says, I can send you what to expose and you will share it. Question mark. I just said, you can do so, it's fine. Sends me back. Will you pay for good info about the TFE with evidence? I said, sorry, truth is not something to pay for.
Wow.
If you want to present, you can. He replies, you are stupid for real information. Got you. Truth in my ass. All I say is, ha ha ha, run along, Globehead. Globe This is his response. You are just not a flat earther. This is it. You prove what Jeran said. Toxic group of liars. And he can't even spell lies right.
Wow. You know that community post you put out, something about the first experiment? Was that a joke?
So the guy solicits you on the premise of giving you some information, right? And then turns it into a solicitation to sell you information. And then wants to turn that around into, so you don't want to pay for my information. You don't want to see what's in the mystery box, eh?
I got the same email, buddy, from this same guy, unsure name. I've got over 22 messages from this account trying to give me this information to share, and I just had a bad feeling that it was some kind of hip piece information to make us look bad. So
I'll probably a link to try and hack into your account or something.
Yeah, they're working overtime to try and so that's why I didn't jump all over the Stitchgate video, because I'm like, I'm very cautious now. There's a lot of stuff coming out that's fake.
Yeah, but that's why
that's
why I say we have to look into it ourselves properly, because I haven't seen it myself yet. So that's why I haven't really pushed it yet, because I haven't really seen it myself. I have to see it myself. And that's why when there's the same with the Vapegate, we're like, you're using Nico's edited footage. I'm like, no, I literally went to Dave McKeegan's 360 myself, and I got it myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I want to tell you guys something right quick. Do you know what Jeran did right away? He made Ruhif a moderator on his channel. That's the first thing he did when he got back. It's kind of funny, I thought.
Wow.
So you were saying about that the first experiment. Was that a joke? Was that got to be a joke?
It has to be, because it's taking part on the 1st of April. What's associated with the 1st of April, guys?
April Fools.
Fool's Day and New Year's Day.
Exactly.
April Fool's
Day. It's a really new year.
Man,
so we're gonna have to go on with this. We're gonna have to go on with the show another time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think yeah, we'll probably do part 2 of this because it is funny watching Shawn. So far, Shawn hasn't really had anything other than attempting to reverse the burden onto you the whole time and insulting.
That's it.
Because he comes with the assumption that what he's saying is the truth, because he believes in it, so it must be true.
But yeah, I think you did well so far, Nico.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I'm getting some practice, that's for sure. But I'm definitely, I have another one with that cats. Cats. You guys familiar with cats?
Yes, conversing cats.
Yeah, cats. That's gonna be fun, man. I'm telling you.
So wait, was he a flat earther before?
Yeah, Anthony. Talk to Anthony. He's actually the one who got cats into the flat Earth. Correct? It was like a whole few years ago.
Who you talking about?
Cats.
Oh, cats. Yeah, I got and I did with Ranty as well. Brought both of them two idiots into the topic, and now I regret massively because they both turned out to be massive bellends.
What conspiracy guys are we on about?
Yeah.
All right. What? He used to be a flat earther.
No. I introduced him into the topic. He wanted
a
conversation with a real flat earther because he got a flat earther that come out with all the usual tripe, and I was like, well, I'll have the conversation with you. Let me ask you a few questions. And like one of the questions was, how do you have gas pressure without a container?
Yeah.
And obviously that stuck with him forever and ever and ever because he runs away from it.
God, he does. I remember you saying this before. He does. He tried to get.
He doesn't like that question. He thinks that
without the balloon, there can be no pressure.
Just after Ranty turned, he tried to get me to watch a video of a flat earther that turned back to the globe. It was probably Speak Lies, See Lies, Speak Lies, whatever his name is.
Might have been Ranty as well, though.
It could have been Ranty, but I mean, I was talking to Ranty at the time on Brandon's anyway, because he was still coming on Brandon's, trying to. I mean, it was one day he said something for Flat Earth, and then the next day he was all globe. He actually defended Flat Earth one day, then the next day he was globe. I watched it. I watched it on Brandon's when it was still Brandon stroke Ranty's at the same time. You know what I mean? They had that little period where they crossed over channels.
Ranty said to me that when I first invited him over to Hoy Lake with me to do Blackpool Tower, because he had a P900 at the time, I didn't have one. He said to me, and he's been on the record of saying this, he said, all I want to do is see curvature where I live, and then I'm happy. And I said, well, come over here and let's see, can we see Blackpool Tower? Now, we went over there and like literally, it was so, all you could see was like orange lights on the horizon, like little LED lights, little tiny things. You really couldn't see anything other than the lights. And he zoomed in and he managed to get it focused. He fixed the focus on it, which is not easy to do on the P900. But he fixed the focus on it and he got it right in. And then it was only like 3 or 4 days later though, when we started to go through the footage to be able to work out what filters could we apply to so we could see more of it, because all it was just dots. And then we started working out what the lights were relating to and all that. But once we realized what we were looking at, and we realized that, well, this light is that height, and that light over there is this height, and this light's that height, that Earth can't be spherical because none of these lights can be seen. And he knows that, but he completely ignores that now because he spent hours looking at that one picture. Oh, really? So you ignore the fact that you've been to see it real world in your own world.
I mean, look at what it turned him, and allegedly turned him, the Blackpool thing. He debunked many things like that already, and that was meant to have turned him. You know, that's silly. It's silly. Yeah. He's still a flat earther. He's still a flat earther. He just can't come back.
The thing is, if you notice, when he first started playing this game, right, he had a really basic PC setup. His camera was rubbish. His microphone was rubbish. By the end of it, he's got a what was it now? Was it I can't remember what it was, but he had a decent microphone. He had a decent stand. He had decent monitor, decent computer. He had all sorts of stuff that were bought and paid for by people in the topic. And some of it was bought for and paid for by conspiracy cats and their cronies. So he owed them, didn't he? Because he'd accepted gracious gifts off them. He had to pay that back.
And that's why, I mean, he tried doing a little bit afterwards. Him and Flats was back and forth with demonstrations and stuff, weren't they? Debunking each other. And then he did that perspective. And then I disappeared for about 6 months. But when I come back, he was gone. I mean, I haven't had a Ranty since perspective.
I think Ranty will come back one day because I think that he can't stay away from the topic. He misses it.
Yeah, he's bound at some point, isn't he?
But he's going to have to let the dust settle a bit longer because he's...
But will he come back to this platform or go Rumble or something? And not that it makes a difference because most people We'll find.
I don't know. I think he'll be back because I don't think he can keep away.
I think he should just come back and just with his tail between his legs, just you know what I mean, just take it and humble himself and say, "All right, look, I was full of it. I'm a flat earther." You know what I mean? I know people ain't gonna trust him straight off, but
at the end of the day, he was stood there on that jetty with me, and we were both looking over, and we were both working out what we were looking at, and we knew roughly where to look. And it's not easy doing it when it's pitch black. It's like literally you're looking, you can't even see where the sea meets the sky. There's no horizon. It's just pitch black. You can just see a couple of little tiny LEDs on the horizon, which is Blackpool. Now, you shouldn't be seeing these things, but we're looking at it going, what are we looking at? Not realizing that none of it should be visible. And obviously you start talking about how high these lights are and all that, but Ranty knows. He's seen it in real world in his own two eyes. Of course. You have to look at a picture and start calculating the effects of refraction and calling it Earth curve.
Right. I know. I mean, it's been a few years now. I think he could maybe dare to coming back. You know?
Where's he gone?
That's it. I haven't got a clue.
Now, where's Flatzoid gone?
Oh, Flatzoid. I thought you were on about that. I thought it was rhetorical. You thought you were talking about that. Where's he going? He'll be sorting the kids out.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is Ranty's seen it firsthand himself, like with no messing around with. I mean, obviously, listen, I've seen during the day, I've seen it look really flat, I've seen it look really bally, and Nathan's right. Whenever you got no atmo day to be able to work out which is the baseline, which is the true position, because I've seen it go both ways. Not many times I've seen it go bally, but I have seen it go bally. Usually it is flat, and most of the time it's somewhere in the middle. And you get a little bit more maths and a little bit more refraction, and it's back to a ball again, isn't it? So it's just a case of how much refraction do you want to apply on there with the dystopian version of refraction. But bottom line is he's seen it and he knows it's not curving.
Of course. Look at the pooch, beautiful.
It's not physical, right, Anthony? None of these optics are. Never have been.
It's always moving. The horizon moves up and down. It squashes and it stretches and it does all sorts of weird shit. And that tells you that you're looking through a medium. You're looking through a lens. What we see on the horizon is subject to, they call it refraction. Really, it's subject to the wobbles of the lens being distorted by the sun. The sun does it all. It evaporates water from the surface. It causes vapor, which causes all sorts of like distortion and weirdness. Look at that and start applying maths to it based on the assumption that we're on a ball. And the reality is we're looking at stuff that's continually moving. You're just looking at it at a snapshot in time, and it can be ball supporting or flat supporting depending on what the conditions are, which you have no idea what the conditions are. You just know that it's being affected. And I've seen, like I say, there's one particular observation I do all the time just to keep an eye on stuff. And again, I've seen it look bally, I've seen it look flat. Sometimes it's at the beginning of the day, sometimes it's at the end of the day. It's continually varying. You can't make a decision either way because you don't know what the baseline is.
Right.
And that is the only truth that we can have.
That's why I like Bo and Pablo. Sorry.
So we got 344 votes. TFE was faked. Yes, 46%. No, 33%. Looks so, 9%. And could be 12%. Ooh.
I'm not sure what I think about it, to be honest. I'm at the moment. I'm applying the, remember the Tesla Roadster in space, and Elon Musk said you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Yeah. That's what I'm applying because it does look too real. It looks like a cartoon to me. So on the face of it, I'll accept it loosely. But
the reason I'm still thinking that it's faked is because it can be.
Yeah.
And there's so much
got a motive to do it.
And because there's so much red flags, and because literally this whole thing is built on deception.
And Austin lying about vaping. I mean, I don't know what the reasons are. I presume it's to do with his missus, but at the end of the day, lying about it is just opening the door to all the other allegations that may well follow.
Well, what would he have said anyway when he releases his 360 cam footage? Did he think his missus won't see him vaping then?
I can't explain it. You just wouldn't do it, would you?
Now there's video footage of him smoking. There's video footage of him vaping. There's, they're saying he was drunk in Puntos Arenas. You know what I mean? So it's as
if his wife craps the whips that much that whilst he's away from her, he gets to play, and that was his chosen method of playing. He's just gone nuts, hasn't he? But like the fact that he does that indicates that he's just not serious about the topic anyway, because you just wouldn't behave like that, and especially in front of people that are going to come back and criticize you. You know damn well he's going to be watching his P's and Q's if he's out with those idiots. Yet he's acting like that. It's just backwards.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, it's the other way around and he's totally in their pockets and it is a friendship that we don't know about, in which case that would explain why he was so casual about being drunk and all that.
Well, look at it this way. Look what Jeran's doing to the flat earth community, and Witset's still a friend with him, he claims, okay?
Jeran's actually, this is the best piece of science that Jeran's ever done, because if it's caused him to leave the topic, I mean, to be honest, Nathan, QE, me, we would have wanted Jeran to have left the topic years ago when he was. Yeah. So, like, they've done what we couldn't do. Get rid of Jeran. That's not a bad thing. Jeran's not been good for this topic.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's out.
I think we should look into what Flatzoid's saying, how there was multiple trips done. So a trip either 6 months or even a year before, maybe even 2 years before. Because we know Mr. Beast went to Antarctica 2 years before. So who knows? Maybe Will Duffy and Toon and them guys on Keegan jumped on a trip there a couple years to gather some, like Saab said, B-roll or some of the HDR.
But the thing is, how do we really know Mr. Beast really went to Antarctica?
That again too, wherever this location is that they're saying is Antarctica, whether it's one of the islands just off of the ice rink or if it's even Alaska or Greenland.
Yeah, but I mean, I can always contact the South African guy that actually went down with them to Antarctica to do the photography. He's from South Africa. I can always try to contact him and say, yeah, he'll probably say Antarctica, but
And then this trip, they came with the Flat Earthers, with Jeran, Witset, and whatnot. And then they just got more footage of plane rides and landing and taking off. And, just to give it more realism and then add the footage in that was already done and edited and taken care of with Unreal Engine or whatever software. And just it's all been mixed in. That drone footage doesn't look real to me. So it's... Yeah.
Look, they could still do the drone footage. I can say that can be real, but that won't prove that the sun was up for 24 hours. I think that's why I said they went there the second time, but they were very carefully planning on when they did their live streams and everything, so they could claim that, oh, look, there's a 24-hour sun. In the meantime, this is why I think they actually planned this whole crash for the 24-hour live stream, and claimed, oh no, they couldn't restart and stuff. I think that was all planned. Because
what's going on with this whole missing time? If you came back a day early on the 17th, that means you had part of the 17th, the 18th, completely unaccounted for. The next one we get is from Duffy saying they're leaving out of Puerto Arenas. Jeran told me that he was actually stuck in South America till like the 22nd or some shit like that. I could be, maybe it was the 21st. He didn't get home till the 22nd. And I'm like, and you're in a country you've never been to before. You got time to kill. You got an entire day on your hands, right? So what did you do? Didn't you go to any restaurants? Didn't you go to any shops and say, hey, here's what a Chilean shop is like, and here's what the restaurants are like, or let's just walk around the town a little bit? Nothing. Just dead air until he came back and called everybody a retard for questioning shit. And I'm like, what the hell?
Did you see?
Tommy, you forgot the sea bass, dude. The sea bass. Where's the sea?
Did you see Fight the Flat Earth criticising Nathan Oakley because he said he looks like he's aged 2 years in the last 6 months? And I thought, even if that was legitimately true, which may or may not be true, who cares? But even if that was legitimately true, there's a timeline that you can check Nathan easily, or like every single week if you really wanted to, and you'll see that the gradual change of age over time is clearly supported by. But then look at Duffy, look at McToon and Duffy. They do look like they've aged 2 years. It's that simple.
Yeah, that was like literally days apart.
Like 2 weeks apart. Like from the time they left and time to get back. It's like, whoa, what happened?
But it's just interesting that the fact that Flat Earth's repeating that argument, applying it against Nathan, and then trivializing that point as though it's not a big deal, because everyone knows he's just bullshitting about against Nathan, but he's doing it to trivialize that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to end this here. I appreciate all of you coming. You guys have quickly a few minutes, seconds each, just to say closing statements, and because usually when we give closing statements, we can still go on for like half an hour.
True. What you could say to that, except he did ace against Shawn. I mean, Shawn's just doing the normal. I mean, look, when he debated you, Flats just silence and then pretended the mic was broken. I'm not saying a thing until you do this. And you'd already done it, and he just kept saying the same thing. So, I mean, he's not good, but he's got the same bloody everybody he debates. But it shows the patience in Nico. I'm placid, and I couldn't have it. So, now, well done, Nico. Well done, man.
My closing statement's simple. Thank you very much, Duffy and McToon, for getting rid of Jeran.
You can have him. Please keep him.
No return.
I'm a time traveler, huh? Okay.
Yeah, PJ, you obviously gonna have a show.
Yeah. I'll put the links in now. 2 p.m. I'm back on. I've took 2 days off, but I will be back tomorrow.
It's good to see you back, man. And then Sov.
Yeah, I'm planning on going live tonight, probably between 8 and 9 o'clock. Go on for a couple hours, have a little fun, and yeah.
Cool. And Nico, the man of the hour.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Flatzoid, and the rest of the panel for reviewing this debate or so-called debate. You know, it's not great or should be referenced as one of the top debates out there. There's many other great ones, but yeah, I've been hounded by a lot of these globe earthers the past couple weeks, and Shawn here, I just thought, you know what, he just seems like good practice. So I jumped on, and yeah, thank you. It seems like it's going good so far, and so I'm appreciating the criticism. Thanks.
No, I think you're doing well so far. I've got no issues. Like I said, you will. The more you do it, the more experience you get, and the more you'll be able to read what's going on. But that happens.
I'm learning from the best right here, so it's looking good for the future.
Sweet.
But yeah, appreciate all you guys coming. I'm surprised Michael's still awake.
Yeah, just.
Put a link. Somebody posted the documentary from 1948 called The Secret Land, and it's about Bird's expedition.
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and I downloaded the video itself, but I'm going to put it over for y'all to be able to look at yourself if you're interested.
Nice.
See if maybe they mention anything about it.
On my channel is Bird, and you will find, I don't know, 10 maybe. I will drop link to my channel.
Hey, can I say hi to Shawn? Hi, Shawn. No. Thanks for restreaming it. Appreciate it. I'm sure he is.
Oh yeah, I think he is. Shawn is restreaming live right now.
Is apparently doubling down on Pound of Feathers.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
Yeah.
The most stupidest statement ever made by any person ever.
It's a primary school joke. You know what I mean? It's a primary school joke. What's heavy is a ton of bricks or a ton of feathers. That's what you say.
Right.
It's the same joke. And he did.
Yeah, I think that, primary school, elementary school, absolutely, and it always stays within the same grade. I think that's probably like fifth or sixth grade.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Janusz, I've put your link in there for them. His Odyssey channel.
Yep.
Janusz has a lot of content on Odyssey, guys. Definitely well worth it to go watch.
I'm going to get soon 33,000 videos uploaded. So 33,000 will be something special.
Yeah, I was looking at it. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. So I want on
you
that
say
channel.
33?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, one very important point. Always remember, the globe has the burden of proof. It goes against observable reality.
Correct.
Do not let them trap you into making a claim. Okay. An observation is not a claim.
not
So
terrible,
when they
man.
tell you that there is sphericity to the globe or to the earth, they must prove that. When they say that the gradient is proof of gravity, they have to prove that the gradient is a causality of gravity.
Yeah, well, that's been debunked, that though.
Nick,
Vacuum
no
chamber.
advice from me.
Got
Comments from the
to
from the
prove
heart.
gravity.
Replacement, listen, replacement is independent of falsification. In other words, just because I've proven that it's not what you say doesn't mean that I have to come up with an alternative explanation as to what it is.
Yeah, but it's gone a step further than that, though, Soph. If you put a 10-kilogram mass in a vacuum chamber and then remove the downwards acceleration they say that Air has because Air's got weight, then that 10-kilogram weight must get lighter because you're removing the weight of the air from it. But when you remove the air from it, it gets heavier.
It's
and
heavier.
That's the opposite evidence that they need for their model. They have no explanation for that.
Well, even with their feather and their bowling ball in a vacuum chamber bullshit, right?
Yeah.
What was the one variable that they manipulated or modulated?
The medium.
The medium.
Exactly.
So there is never an instance where an object is not subject to a medium.
Exactly. By removing the medium, the feather's got no drag to create.
They didn't remove the medium. They only made it more sparse.
Sure.
You can't remove the medium. Okay,
You know what
there's
I
no
mean.
such thing as an actual vacuum. The best they can do is what I would call a very low pressure system. That's
Sure.
it.
But we're missing the point.
But the bottom line is, the manipulation of the medium.
Yeah.
If we go the other way and increase the density of the medium, we see a change in acceleration or even weight. And what is weight is just a quantification of the relative density of an object within a given medium.
Yep.
So if Newton's apple had fallen into a bucket of water, what now?
Exactly. But the apple would go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nico, you did great.
Archimedes should be the celebrated man.
I want to give you honest advice. Whenever you're asking the question, don't allow them, never allow them to go to the different question. Replace your question with their question.
Yeah, because they never.
When they say something, stick to the point, push them, and don't let them run away from the question. Push them.
Yeah, they never answer the
The
question.
end.
They always.
But they never answer exactly.
Nonsense.
Okay, thanks, JK. Let's keep pressing, right? Because then, okay, I got it.
Exactly. Because they can't win it, and people will say that they are trying to make hocus pocus, and they're not honest. That's how we get them.
Let's get Flatzoid out because he wants to go to bed.
Yeah.
Nico, make sure you stay in
Hey,
after.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks again all for coming. Appreciate you. So tomorrow night I'll be debating critical think and trying to show him that what he did was not science.
Critical
So
thinking,
make sure
I think, in his case, is oxymoron, yeah?
Can I ask what time he's going to go on today?
Between 8 and 9, somewhere in that vicinity.
Okay.
Between 8 and 9, somewhere in that vicinity, because I got to wait till the wife gets home before I know what really is happening here tonight.
I'll make sure not to go on when you're on. Don't want to interrupt the show.
Your wife short, maximum to 3 weeks.
Well, sometimes she's got something special planned for dinner or something like that. It all depends on that.
Okay. So thanks all for coming. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all tomorrow night. I will probably have a pre-show because I think it starts at 10 p.m. my time, and then probably an after show because it is Friday night, so we can go on a bit longer. So see you all tomorrow.
Do you know
Thank you,
what it
guys.
means when your wife is in the living room? It means she has too long chain.
Okay. Bye, guys. Blessings.
Night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
No, it's like all those jokes. Maybe